So you want to be a full-time YouTuber? Well, we're going to go ahead and tell you what you need to know about making money online, growing a YouTube channel, and how to connect with an audience. This is something I'm actually really excited about. I also have a special guest joining me today. So thank you to everybody if you're watching this live or even if you're watching the replay. We're going to get into everything you need to know about being a full-time YouTuber from somebody who's actually done it, and some advice for all of you who are aspiring. Also, just a quick shout out here to both TubeBuddy and StreamYard for sponsoring today's video and live stream experience. Couldn't do it without the great sponsors. And as many of you know, having great sponsors is a part of being a full-time YouTuber. And we are going to talk about working with brands, as well as other parts of YouTube monetization, different ways that YouTubers can make money in different niches. But just remember that this live stream is brought to you by StreamYard, the simplest way to live stream online. It's what I use to be able to bring in special guests seamlessly without them needing to download anything. So if you want a free trial of StreamYard for $0, there's a link in the description down below for that. Or you can get one of their amazing affordable plans. And it's something obviously that I use here for the channel. Also want a big shout out to TubeBuddy, our sponsor. They are the best YouTube tool in the land. And I like using them not just for the SEO stuff that I do at YouTube. I know a lot of you don't believe in SEO anymore, but I actually use it a lot for productivity. And I love that I can use find replace to change out the links across my videos whenever I have to do sponsored content or affiliate links. I also love it for its thumbnail tools and its click magnet tool with regard to me being able to know which faces y'all actually respond to and click on. That's actually super helpful. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Joining me today is a special guest, my boy, brought back by popular demand, Viper, the man about tech. What's up, brother?
Yo, yo, yo. What's up, Roberto? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you. Oh, I see you rocking the StreamYard hoodie.
All right, man. We got the merch here on deck.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of merch, we also do have a third sponsor for the streams. We have our good friends over at Spreadshop. So I am a Spreadshop ambassador. They actually make my merch, which you could probably see in the YouTube merch shelf down there. We're going to actually talk about YouTube merch. Viper, you've got some dope merch. I've got some dope merch, and I have more merch dropping for the holiday season. So that's actually pretty cool. It's another way that creators can grow their business on YouTube, connect with their fans. By the way, there's a link for that, and it costs you $0 to sign up to Spreadshop and start making money from your own merch. $0, and it's what I use. Link down below.
There you go.
Yeah, we've got a ton of great sponsors.
So, good evening to all of y'all. I think we got 143 people watching the stream tonight. Appreciate it.
And counting.
And counting. Appreciate y'all coming in and hanging out with me and Roberto tonight. So, thank you all for that. Appreciate y'all. Hopefully, you all have been having a good weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely, man. It's good to be back. It's good to be back with you doing the streams and everything like that. We hooked up over on your channel the other day for a stream, right?
We did. We had an impromptu conversation about life and everything like that. So pretty good.
Yeah. For those of you who maybe haven't heard the news, I have a very big life update, and it actually affects the channel in a lot of ways. I'm a homeowner now.
He just throws that out there like, I'm a homeowner.
I'm a homeowner now. I actually just bought my first home, my first property. I'm still here in Atlanta, Georgia. And so I bought a place that's actually maybe I'd say 5 or 6 minutes from where I already live. So that's actually really dope. And I did it as a self-employed full-time YouTuber, which is actually harder than it sounds. So there's a few extra hurdles for that. So there will be a house tour type video coming soon, and also in that I will have the details of how a full-time YouTuber goes about buying their home, because it's a little different than a regular gainfully employed person. It's a little harder to do with regard to all of the financial stuff you have to prove with regard to your income as a full-time YouTuber, because believe it or not, as a full-time YouTuber, it's not respected the same way that a traditional job is, Viper.
Don't we know it? People even with their antiquated ways of thinking, they're like, oh, that's not a real job. You don't need a regular 9 to 5 to make money. No, the hell you don't. Not at all. The creator economy is here and it's taking over, baby. It's a brand new way of living, a brand new way of thinking, and more people need to get on board with the creator economy. And even if you don't, that's fine. That's more money for me, Roberto. So you got to get on board. Cool.
Yeah, no, you don't got to do nothing you don't want to, but we'll sit here and we'll collect the coins if you don't mind.
No doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you can determine your own level of involvement here with the creator economy. Some of you are saying the link doesn't work for Spreadshop. No problem. I'm going to take a quick peek at that, and if I need to update it, and that's what we'll go ahead and do here.
So, Roberto is a new homeowner, so the people want to know Roberto. When are you going to be streaming in and doing video from the new spot? I think you're in the old spot now, right?
Still in the old spot right now, but the thing is, I will be in the new spot. So, like, I'll be in the new spot within the next 2 weeks. But what's going to happen with this is I'm going to be recording a bunch of videos in advance, and then I'm going to be uploading those. And so what'll happen is I'm going to try to make it to where the experience changes as little for the viewers as possible as I transition. And then even some things with my setup, I'm going to try to keep most of my setup intact. You know, I recently even switched computers. I switched from my Windows PC to an M1 Mac Mini. And you see that for y'all as little changed as possible, even though my hardware setup completely changed.
Welcome to the party, pal. Yeah.
I found out what's happening with that Spreadshop link. It's actually on their end. It's not on mine. There's an issue with share a sale. So no problems. Those things happen. Just glad to know it's not something I screwed up.
Oh, we are good.
Yeah. But Viper, like, what do you think the people want to know? You're sitting there, you see the chat. What do you think the people want to know right off the bat about this whole being a full-time YouTuber thing? Because I mean, they've seen the situation where over the years they've seen like me and other YouTubers go full-time. They've seen, the benefits of that for us in our lives, things that's done for our families, things that's done to help us improve our content. What do you think they want to know?
So we have a good first question here that I'm looking at. Let me go back to who asked it real quick. From Raven the Black Card asked, if you just started posting videos today, is this going to be something you should be paying attention to? Yes, you should definitely be paying attention to. Yeah. So
even if you started just posting videos, let me tell you the first part. So let's go ahead and look at anybody who's not a full-time content creator, which is probably the majority of people watching this right now. You probably need to start thinking about whether YouTube is something you want to be a career, or do you want to be a career content creator? Or is this a fun hobby that you'd like to make a little bit extra money from? So you have to decide, is this a side hustle or is this a career? And the thing is, if you want it, and by that I mean you have to decide what you want it to be, because it might be a side hustle right now, but are you okay with it staying a side hustle, or do you want it as a career?
Yeah.
And you need to ask that. You need to ask yourself, is this a side hustle and I'm good with my current job or the current industry that I'm working in or the type of thing I'm doing? Or do I want to create content as a career?
Because the reason why you have to know the answer to this question right off the bat is because the way you might conduct yourself depends on how you answer the question.
Yeah, for real.
And it goes back to something I've been saying practically all year long. Even when you are a brand new creator, you are being watched. From the moment you upload your first piece of content, people are watching you. Your audience is watching you. Potential brands are watching you. Your fellow creators are watching you. You are being watched by everybody. You're being watched by people that you don't even know who's watching you, but they're watching you. So you need to know right off the bat whether you want to make this a hobby or you want to, or this is something that you want to take seriously. You better know, because you got to conduct yourself in such a fashion if this is something you want to take seriously and become a full-time content creator down the road.
Yeah. Battleless says, I wouldn't want a job where one wrong word could get me fired. Dude, that's every 9-to-5 job. There's literally every 9-to-5 job. If you think that creators don't have like freedom, it's like we have freedom within reason, probably more freedom within reason than almost every other person who works a 9-to-5 job. We probably have more freedom of speech. But if you don't think the wrong word could get you fired at a 9-to-5 job, I don't think you've been paying attention.
Well, I'm living proof. I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know.
Like, yeah. So I don't like, so yeah. So with that question, like Raven, I think that even if you're a new content creator, you should be acting intentionally, unless you're like super, super young and you want to do this as a hobby. But even then, you should, if you're going to do this for a while, you think it might not be a hobby one day, you might want to still at least be paying attention and being thoughtful, because you don't want the mistakes and indiscretions of your youth coming back to haunt you.
Yeah.
And you want to have an answer for that, because by the way, if you don't think you're going to have to answer for everything you do and post on social media in the future in your job, I don't think y'all are paying attention to what's happening even beyond the creator economy in terms of regular people and social media and their careers. And if you think that having a avatar or having a using a pseudonym, if you don't think that in 5 to 10 years that's going to change and that the anonymity that you currently have, you should assume that your anonymity is not going to last forever, no matter what your situation is. You should make a plan to know that, gee, I may not, even if I'm a faceless YouTuber, even if I'm a faceless content creator, even if I'm a VTuber or a faceless streamer on Twitch, you have to make the assumption that at some point, people might know who you are and you might have to have a plan.
Yeah. Because as we've seen on pretty much multiple social media platforms, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, or whatever, if you flip up and people want to find out who you are and where you are, they can find out who you are and where you are pretty quickly.
Yeah, we won't go too heavy into that.
No, we won't. But savage out here.
It's DJ Butta says, congrats on the new crib. I'm a syndicated radio DJ in Canada, huge tech guy. Want to do a dual niche channel covering DJ topics and tech reviews. Wondering if I should do 2 channels or just one to fit it all together. So here's another part of being a full-time YouTuber. I think in most cases, you have to really understand what you're making and your content. Viper, you're a tech creator, so maybe you have a better answer than me on this, because the thing is, I think there's only so much tech that overlaps with being a DJ and being an average consumer. And the thing is, while I could think of a way to integrate them into one thing as an interesting twist on being a tech YouTuber, maybe it's that you are a tech YouTuber and once in a while you cover some DJ related tech stuff because that's your main job and your background, but you would normally make, or you put that twist into tech videos with like a MacBook Pro and then show what DJs do with it. Or maybe you make a one-off video once in a while about how a DJ's ultimate tech setup, because that could be cool. I think if you're a tech YouTuber, you could work DJ stuff in, but I don't think the opposite works. You're a tech YouTuber. What do you think, Viper?
Yeah, there is a little overlap, because obviously when you're talking about DJing, you're talking about using different audio equipment. And in that way, you can like do maybe reviews of your audio equipment. But by and large, it's not going to work. You're talking about 2 different genres of audience, 2 different genres of just content. If you're talking about doing general tech reviews and trying to intermingle DJ and stuff into that, no, that's not going to work. They're too separate. They're too far.
The only way I can see it working is using like your audiophile expertise, because then you can cover like every headphone. And like, but you can like, a real DJ reacts to, and then it's, or reviews the, the different headphones. You could definitely do the same thing with reviewing microphones. And the thing is, you could do tech content and you could put the twist. I think the twist in the video, not in the title, but in the video. Like Jonathan Morrison has done some really cool stuff with putting a twist on consumer tech, with showing different applications of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But even he has made a separate channel to showcase his music, the music stuff that he does with his friends, because he knows
1,000%.
Yeah, he wouldn't fit on his main channel. So
yeah, so I would just do regular products, the regular consumer electronics products, but you could use and leverage your perspective as a DJ. And then I would have a separate channel that's about the music stuff.
Yep, there you go. Shout out to the 220.
I don't think you can be all things to all people, so I don't believe in trying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're always going to make somebody unhappy. I mean, that's just the spice of life.
Oh wow, we crossed 200 plus live.
And
nice
in the building. Good evening. Happy Sunday to y'all. Appreciate y'all being up in here.
Yep, answered the super chat. And thank you for the 25. Appreciate it, Canadian.
Oh, technically Tree's up in here making trouble. What's up, T?
Where's T at? Where's T at?
You got the bottom down there chilling.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, so like that's another thing, Viper. I think that if you're trying to do YouTube full time, you have to serve an audience more than you have to. You can be authentic and you can express yourself, but the thing is, I think when you make this into a full-time job, your priority is to make content the audience wants to watch more than it is expressing what you want to say.
And that's the mistake that a lot of newer creators make, especially in the beginning. They think it's all about them, the content I want to make, what I want to do, what I'm interested in. And that's all good and well. But when you're trying to grow an audience, you have to be mindful of what they want. What are their needs? What do they need covered that they might be interested in, and different things like that. So you really need to become audience focused if you're trying to grow. I mean, again, if you don't care about growing and you're just on YouTube to like dump stuff on YouTube or just make it your hobby and do whatever you want, then you ain't got to listen to anything we're saying. But if you are actually trying to grow a channel and grow an audience, you have to be audience focused first, and then everything else falls in line.
Yep, absolutely. And so, yeah, I mean, I feel that if you're trying to build and grow an audience, you're asking them to spend 5-10 minutes with you, or even an hour on a stream or whatever, then you know what? Then it's got to be about them. It's got to be, you have to put the audience first, or don't ask for anything. And if you want to make what you want to make, be happy with who chooses to show up for that. If you want to make what you want to make, be happy with, 10 people, 20 people, 100 people, 225 people, if you want to make what you want to make. But if you want to go full time and you want thousands of people to support you, then what are you doing for them? Like for real, man. I mean, that's the difference.
Is that when people come to your channel, especially in the beginning, they don't give a monkey's nipple who you are. They don't care about you. They care about what you are there to give them. What value can you provide to them, especially in the beginning when they don't know you? So you really got to be focused when you start now, because they're coming there for information. They're not coming there for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. So, all right, you have here two YouTubers of varying audience sizes. You have me, long time OG in the game, 500,000 plus subscribers. I don't even know what the number is anymore. And Viper, you're at 5,000. You're almost at 6,000, right?
Right on the doorstep of 6,000. Yep.
Right on the doorstep. We're like knocking on that door. In fact, actually, to make the stream work going forward, I'm gonna have to hustle my way to 600,000 so that you can be at 6,000 and I can be at 600,000, so that we can keep the numbers paralleled, right? Like, but and that's my little joke. It's like, so get me to 600,000, y'all, just so I can keep up with Viper, so that we can balance the stream.
Oh my
God. But the thing I'm bringing up is value to the viewer. Not every type of content has the same audience capacity, right? Like if you do something that, let's say you only cover Apple, then there's a whole audience of people in the broader market that you might be excluding, but there's enough Apple buyers out there to have a huge, huge audience just from covering Apple products. If you cover Apple products, the potential for a huge audience off of, like the iPhone, the Mac, everything, like they sell so many units that it's possible to have a huge audience, right? But if you cover a very, very niche product or a very niche career or brand, then it's going to be a lot harder to get millions of people potentially. And so that's like a big deal. Just knowing what the audience size and the market, the total, what we call in business, we call that the total addressable market. You ever heard of that, Viper?
I have not, no.
Yeah, total addressable market is basically saying how many people, if we reached everybody who cares about this, how many people is that? So it's the total addressable market, it's the total market size, or it's the market cap, right? So like that's a business thing. If you're going to go full time, it's a business thing, right? So it's the total addressable market of people on the internet that are interested in a certain thing or even know about it or are of a certain age. You know, years and years and years ago, like in the beginning of YouTube, you probably could not get 1 million subscribers as an anime YouTuber that is doing English language like content, just because in a lot of cases to get to 1 million like subscribers, one, back in the day was very hard in general because there were only so many people on YouTube, period. YouTube was not a household name 10 years ago. It just straight up wasn't. 10 years ago, just 10 years ago, YouTube was not a household name. And 5 years ago, it wasn't nearly as popular as it is today. So like, you got to understand that. Now, back then, anime was also not something that regular everyday people or even young people were as into. It was a niche, very niche thing. But here in Atlanta, we have like Dragon Con and it sells out. It's almost as big as New York Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con. Like Dragon Con is such a big deal down here that it takes 8 hotels in downtown Atlanta to support this one conference and convention during Labor Day weekend, Viper. So the total addressable market today for certain parts of geek culture is exponentially bigger than it was 10 years ago. So you have to think about things like that.
Let's use a real world example happening right now on YouTube.
All right.
There's a phenomenon in real life that's happening right now that has kind of caught fire on YouTube. Squid Games. I know most of y'all heard Squid Games.
Yeah. I watched the whole thing, by the way.
Like, it doesn't matter what content you make on YouTube. If you could find a way to correlate your content with Squid Games, you are doing numbers right now. Boom.
Yeah.
And
I have a video planned for that.
When you talk about total addressable market, relating your content to Squid Games, you are reaching a higher market because that is the popular thing right now. It's like, it is a mainstream cultural phenomenon, global phenomenon, and everybody's going crazy on Squid Games. So no matter what content you make on YouTube, if you could somehow relate it to Squid Games, your numbers are going up right now. That's just what it is.
Selena Elizabeth Perez asks, I see a lot of Korean minimalist vlogs. What's the market strategy? Minimalism itself is one of the biggest trends of the last 5 years.
Yep.
Minimalism is one of the biggest trends of the last 5 years. Matt Diavella built almost an entire YouTube channel and career, over 1 million subscribers off of minimalism.
Oh, yeah.
Graham Stephan used financial minimalism as a way to hack frugality, minimalist lifestyle of not buying things, and personal finance all together. And so minimalism also is something that Nate O'Brien embraced not only in his financial YouTube side, but now as he transitions from being more of a financial YouTuber to broadening into lifestyle content, he's even doing some van life minimalism right now as he travels across the country. Like there, and he had a minimalist apartment back then too, as a young man in his 20s, being very frugal with his money. So again, minimalism is a cultural trend and phenomenon. This is another thing about figuring out what your niche is, what your market is, who your audience is, who the target market is, and what brands you can associate with, and what you're going to portray in your channel. Like this is real business 101 type stuff. But YouTubers, again, are mostly accidental entrepreneurs. They're people who start out doing a fun thing for a hobby, start making a little bit of money from it. Sometimes a little bit of money starts to get closer and closer to rent money. And then all of a sudden, they accidentally wake up with something in their hands that might be a business. But they never take a business mindset to it.
No doubt. So Kat Comperta asks, what about singers? How do they catch more traffic in YouTube SEO? It's just like I explained.
They don't.
Even if you're a singer, if you can latch on to a mainstream singer and maybe do a cover song, or maybe talk about music that maybe Ariana or Taylor Swift is doing, even as a singer, you can still catch SEO that way. Just again,
well, it's not even about catching SEO. It's about whether or not you have something that's like music can be watched over and over again, Viper, more than any other type of content.
Mm-hmm.
And then depending on the music, it might be able to be shareable more than any other type of content as well. I mean, I'll give you a primary example. I have a music channel. If you go to youtube.com/Zenbuster, you can see Zenbuster music. I'm going to show y'all something really interesting. I'm going to share it here on the screen. Show y'all something really interesting about how music can work.
But I think the overlying thing is that if you are trying to catch traffic on YouTube, if you can relate your content, even if you like really niche down, if your content is very niche, if you can somehow relate that niche content to something that's happening mainstream or something that will appeal to a more broad audience, that is a way to catch traction. I mean, look at Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike is a doctor, of course, but you see his video titled Dr. Mike reacts to Rick and Morty or Dr. Mike reacts to such and such on TikTok. He relays his content to a mainstream audience of things or of a phenomenon that are happening like in mainstream media, and he reacts
exactly,
and that's how he catches fire.
He reacts to what's relevant. He makes his content about what's relevant. All right, so look at this. I have a YouTube channel with only about 1,000 subscribers. By the way, the more of you, if you check out this, this will actually help us get monetized on that channel because we're right on the edge of it. So make sure you just throw some of this on in the background and enjoy your evenings with it. Chill out using your workday. YouTube.com/Zenbuster. So Zenbuster Music. I have a video here, Viper. This is an hour-long loop of a song that I had my producer make, and 13,000 views on a 1,300 subscribers channel. Like the ratio of views, or rather listens, on this stuff is phenomenal given the channel size. And that's because you can listen to a single song 100 times in a year and not be bored with it. There's no other video that you could watch or play 100 times, you know, aside from music, and it work. So music channels actually have an advantage if you have a strategy tied to them. And that strategy is not exactly search. It's mostly to do with understanding certain things and culture. This channel is using original music, but is part of the lo-fi trend, but it's using original music. If I were to throw known video game characters or do covers and remixes of video game tracks, this channel would blow up and be much bigger. If I used stuff in the thumbnail that other people use, like pop culture characters like The Simpsons or something like that, then this channel would blow up a lot more. But I'm trying to do as much just original content here as possible. There's a reason and a strategy behind that. So it grows a little bit slower. But the point is, just like you said, if I had anything in there, if I had lo-fi and it was a lo-fi version of like the Rick and Morty cover, boom, all that. Or when the finale of last season of Rick and Morty dropped, if I just did a remix of the evil Morty theme, I'm not going to spoil the finale for y'all, even though it's been a month. Like, but if I just dropped like a lo-fi remix or an EDM or trap remix of the evil Morty theme, oh, I would have got hella views, man. I would have got hella plays on that. So there's ways to tap into relevancy and tie it to something in your niche. It happens all of the time. And like you said, Squid Games, I'm going to do a video on 15 marketing lessons from Squid Games. And I think that that's going to work for like my audience. Like, you know, I just feel like a lot of creators, I mean, because we're trying to tell you how to be a full-time YouTuber, but a lot of you are focused on just general YouTube nonsense right now. Like, and that's fine. I mean, we're here to answer these questions, but I've already answered these questions on dozens of videos on the channel on how to grow a YouTube channel. I mean, the thing about full-time is about making money.
Think about this, Roberto. Even a creator who has no business or no need trying to correlate his content with mainstream media, Mr. Beast, even Mr. Beast is trying to put together a Squid Game video, bro. You know it's serious when Mr.
Oh, that'll break the internet.
And when Mr. Beast puts together his Squid Game video, and he doesn't need to do that because he gets millions of views on all of his videos, no matter what he does. But even he is trying to put together a Squid Game video, so it's major. If he's trying to do it.
Well, he's always known and understood that you have to somewhat tie yourself to some relevancy. I mean, he did the Fortnite battle bus in real life as a stunt a couple of years back when Fortnite was at peak relevance. When PewDiePie and T-Series was going on, he made himself the focal point of the real winner of PewDiePie versus T-Series was Mr. Beast. The real winner of, actually, that might be a video that I make. The real winner of PewDiePie versus T-Series was Mr. Beast. I might make a video about that. That's like, that could almost be a whole documentary. So yeah, but yeah, so I mean, Yes, you have to build an audience for all this stuff to work, but I've already made entire videos and we've done entire live streams telling y'all how to build an audience. Here's something y'all don't know about, becoming a full-time YouTuber. When is it time for you to leave your job if that's something you're going to do?
Ooh, I have a story that kind of correlates to this.
You want to tell that story?
I can. So, when I started my YouTube channel back in January of 2018, I started it with the intention of becoming a full-time YouTuber. But, as one finds out sometimes in the creative journey, things don't happen overnight on YouTube. It takes a lot of grind. It takes a lot of years. And ultimately, my YouTube growth was slow, and me and Roberto kind of discovered over a year ago that there are other things in play that I didn't realize were at play that were slowing down my YouTube growth. So, long story short, I took my talents elsewhere, but not beyond YouTube. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok. But at the beginning of this year, I got on Clubhouse. And if you don't know what Clubhouse is, it's an audio-only platform. They have a bunch of rooms in there with a bunch of different subject matter that you can go in and talk about. And I've been on Clubhouse since January of this year. Being on Clubhouse, my first 4 months on Clubhouse, I ended up getting a brand deal to host rooms on Clubhouse with vidIQ. And then later on, I actually became a full-time employee of vidIQ. So even though I'm not a full-time YouTuber, I was able to change careers from a corporate 9 to 5 to a job where I can pretty much make my own schedule now, and it gives me more time to make my own content, and it gives me a job in the creative space. Oh, not to mention I got a raise too. So there are ways to tackle this that are not right. There are ways to tackle this even if you don't become a full-time YouTuber right away. There are still ways to go about it where you can still achieve that goal. You just go take a different avenue. There are more than one way to do this.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're a full-time creator now because you're a content producer with a creator company. Yeah. So your entire job and your entire career now completely revolves around being a creator.
Yep.
And so that's an unconventional path. Mine was leave the 9 to 5 job, be a full-time freelancer. And the entire time from 0 to 100,000 subscribers, I was still making most of my money outside of YouTube. In fact, I still make most of my money outside of YouTube, but now it's related to the channel in terms of how I do it. So I'll break down some real numbers. I've made videos about this, but in 2020, it was the best year of my life financially. Not otherwise, financially. I had some other problems in 2020, as did everybody. But in 2020, and I don't say this to braggers or flexers. I know like money is triggering for some people, but here's the thing. I made $300,000 in 2020 doing stuff I love during one of the hardest emotional years of my life. And I was able to do it working from home. And I'm somebody who 10 years ago was making like $30,000 a year as an employee. So like, that's a decade of discipline for you. And that's like what doing what you love like does for you. But it didn't happen overnight. I didn't blow up on YouTube. I've never gone viral. I've made 1,500 videos and I've never gotten viral once. All right. So like, that's the truth. That's like one of those things. But I did things the smart way. I've always had a side hustle. I've always done some kind of freelance work. And so I spent the majority of the 3 years that it took me to get to 100,000 subscribers doing freelance and doing client work. I was a graphic designer. I was a writer for different publications in the creative space. I also was editing videos for companies. So I was doing work for companies. And then I started consulting for people on their social media because my clients were like, hey, we love doing this other stuff with you, but it's like, your social media is bigger than ours. Can you help with that? And I was like, well, I'll come up with a strategy and your in-house people will do that stuff and they'll work and they'll do their hourly stuff or their wage or whatever. But I'm like, you're going to start paying for my brain. And so that was me consulting with small business owners. And then later I started coaching with content creators. And to this day, I've made most of my money outside of YouTube. Last year, you guys saw it. The AdSense on the channel made like less than $40,000 last year. Still a great income from just doing YouTube. But I also uploaded a lot less last year. If I uploaded like I used to back in the day, it'd be more money in ad revenue, but I don't rely on the ad revenue because that's anxiety inducing. I don't think I could have, for a lot of people, the answer was if they were making $10, $20, $30,000 in ad revenue, the smart thing for a lot of them would be to keep their full-time job Viper while they're doing that, and then use that extra money from YouTube, one, to pay down debt, get some other things together in their life, put together some savings, maybe even put a down payment on a house, sure. But the real thing is, I think aside from doing a few lifestyle upgrades, maybe with a third of that, just to maybe elevate your lifestyle to something healthier, not upgrades for the sake of upgrades, right? I would put that I'd put that money back into some aspect of the channel, maybe even bringing on an editor. I think a lot of small YouTubers are afraid to take the extra money they make on YouTube, keep their 9-to-5 job, and then hire an editor to help make it less of a burden to do YouTube and do their job, because then you can scale YouTube with the money that you're giving to your editors. And then you can put yourself in a position to get more out of YouTube, still have your stable income. And then when you get to a place where you've scaled YouTube a little more, it might be easier to say, okay, I'm going to leave that 9-to-5 job, and then I'm going to do some other kind of gig work. I don't even think going into YouTube full time after the 9-to-5 job is the answer for most people. I think they should go from there into either gig work or freelance work to have time freedom to see if they can scale YouTube even more.
Yeah. I want to answer the super chat that we just got, but before I do that, I want to harp on, or I want to say something that you talked about a few years ago, which I want to kind of highlight real quick here. Roberto said a few years ago that you should not even consider quitting your full-time job until you make 3 times the amount on YouTube that you make at your full-time job. Because what a lot of creators don't realize is that when you work for yourself, self-employment taxes are, they're nothing to play with.
And self-employment taxes and your own healthcare insurance.
Yep.
And spending money to make money.
Yeah. So that's why he says, don't even think about quitting your full-time until you make 3 times that amount on YouTube, which is solid advice.
Yeah, 2 to 3 times. 2 to 3 times the amount is healthy. Unless, of course, you're already making some absurd salary and you have a very frugal lifestyle, then sure, maybe you could fudge those numbers a little bit. It also helps if you're living in a place that doesn't have state taxes. If you're in Texas or Florida and you live in that kind of life, good for you, because you could quit sooner if you go to Florida or Texas, somewhere that doesn't have state taxes. If you're in New York or California, you absolutely need 3 times the amount of money, because you're going to end up paying absurd taxes, because you're taxed at a federal level, you're taxed at a state level, then you're taxed at the city municipal level, and then you pay self-employment taxes. So the thing is, if you live in New York and California and you decide to be a full-time self-employed person, content creator, or small business owner, you are taxed 4 times on every dollar that you make. You are taxed 4 times on every dollar that you make. I'm not going to super harp and get into how I feel about taxes, Viper, and everything like that, but I'll just say everybody should pay the minimal damn amount required by the law, and not a penny more. And as long as it's legal, I don't care what your accountant does, as long as it's legal. And I don't care if everybody on this stream pays $0 in taxes because of some financial jujitsu and wizardry that exists in the tax code. If it's there, if you have it in the tax code, plug in that cheat code and keep your money.
There you go. So Teach Like Bianca says, do you think having giveaways is the way to gain subs? I already have a following with a blog and email list, but getting them to my channel is a struggle. I'm going to say no, giveaways are not a good way to gain subs, because you might gain subs, but you're going to gain the wrong subs, because as soon as they don't win that giveaway, they out of there. Or they're going to be subscribed and they'll be dead subscribers, which means they'll just be subscribed, but they won't watch your content, and then YouTube going to end up penalizing your channel anyway, because you're going to purge your subscriber account regardless. So
there's also so many rules on giveaways, and frankly, I'd rather reward people who have been loyal to you than try to give something to people just to get them to jump on the bandwagon. Just to jump on the bandwagon. I'll give you a primary example. Channel members for this channel, people who join, not subscribe, but people who are channel members and pay like the $5 tier every month, people who've been loyal and do that for 3 months or more. When my book drops next summer, my Create Something Awesome book that I'm writing, it's going to be like 50, 60,000 words. I've written 40,000 of it already. It's going to be, maybe it'll go to 80,000 because I added 2 new chapters. But when my book comes out, I'm giving my channel members that have been channel members for 3 months or more, I'm giving them signed copies of my print physical book, Viper. I'm giving them signed copies of my physical print book. So like, I think that rewarding loyalty with something like channel members, and you can get channel members once you have 1,000 subscribers, just like YouTube monetization, right? Like, I think rewarding the people that are already your ride and dies, and like, I think that's more valuable and important than trying to grow off of giveaways. And I don't really believe in growing off of giveaways. And I think that it, like you said, leads to inactive subscribers because they're not coming for you and they're not staying for the content. They're only there to get something. So they already came with the wrong intentions and they don't really care about you. So why have a subscriber just to have a subscriber?
Also, speaking of channel members, shout out to my man Zach Talk Tech for his renewing his membership on your channel, Roberto.
Zach, super appreciate it, man.
Also dropped the super chat as well. Appreciate you, Zach. Hopefully you're doing well, sir.
Yeah. So we got Maddie Crayon. Thank you for the $50 super chat. Educational videos for kids. I support that. Just like music, kids content is replete playable too. I'm increasing quality content, but it's not gaining traction. Is just putting out more content consistently. Have some savings. Should I use that to pay for magazine reviews? I do not believe magazine reviews will attract the audience that you want for YouTube. If you're making educational content for kids, it's going to be a quantity game for you, not necessarily a quality game. Children's programming is not a quality game in the same way that regular YouTube is. So I would say that what scales that is quantity. If you need evidence of that, you can literally look to the nursery rhyme channels. You can look to Coco Melon. You can look to all those things. That is definitely a quantity game, my friend, not a quality game. There are some niches that absolutely are quality games to scale in and to gain traction in. But believe it or not, and I get some hate for saying this, dude. Viper, 80% of YouTube is a quantity game, and only 20% of YouTube niches are a quality game.
Mm-hmm. We always say done is better than perfect.
But 100% of YouTube is a value game.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
80% of YouTube can be achieved through 80% of success on YouTube can be achieved more through quantity than quality. And here's the thing. I'm not talking about posting just to post. And I'm not talking about posting random nonsense. I mean, if you pick a specific audience and you understand and know what that audience cares about and values, and you can make videos every single day and they're decent quality videos. Because by the way, you could just literally stream like our good friend Emily D. Baker. You could fire up StreamYard, linked in the description down below. Sign up to StreamYard today for $0 with their free account or get one of their affordable paid plans. Thank you to StreamYard for sponsoring today's video. But literally, you could get StreamYard, and they have features for live streaming and they have features for recording. Viper, I could make content that is just no BS advice about just how I've lived my life, which I probably do for my Real Talk with Roberto channel. But think about it, Viper. I could just fire up StreamYard, put my mode in like this. My camera's already set up, hit record, and I could just go at the camera for 5 to 8 minutes at a time, giving you real advice and tell you, here's what my like broke butt did to fix my credit score. And here is how I did it, like step by step by step. And that's a video. And I just have to make a really good thumbnail and a really good title. And it is just as good as any of the videos that Graham Stephan has ever made, with the exception of it's not made by a millionaire yet. Okay. I could make my take on, I could literally queue this up and I could react to the most popular things on the internet. I could just queue this up, throw up the screen. I could react to the most popular things on the internet, and I could either do that recorded and I could do that live, and there would be an audience for it because I have good audio, I have a good visual, and I just need a good title and a good thumbnail after that. And I could do that every single day. I mean, to be real with you, PewDiePie is not making the highest quality content he could be making. No offense to PewDiePie. He's done quality content for years and years and years, but he's not going 100% of what someone at his level could go. That would be called what Mr. Beast is doing. Like, you know, that would be what being extra looks like. But making reasonable, good enough quality content and making it every day, like, it's doable. I don't know how healthy it is for most people, but it is doable. Or you could live stream every day. Somebody could do a daily podcast and do that. And you do it for an hour. You make a thumbnail. your job is done. And you're a daily news channel. Like you could be a daily news channel and you could do it live and it's done. No edit required. Just make your stuff look good. And with StreamYard, it's actually pretty easy.
Yep.
That could be quantity. 80% of people could win like that if they have a good enough camera, good enough audio, and if they're good on camera.
And if they're disciplined enough to keep doing it over and over again, for sure.
Yes.
All right. I want to answer the super chat from Laugh, Gas, and Gossip. She said, did Viper take your one-on-one coaching or training? No, but me and Roberto have spent so many hours talking in private and on the live stream that you might think I have.
Yeah.
We just hang out. We just hang out a lot. So
Viper has been the beneficiary of a lot of advice for $0 because he's a homie.
Yeah, we just hang out. Also, a shout out to the Backyard Life for the $19.99 super chat. Since hit 500 today, thanks all for your help. What happens if I meet the 4,000 hours but don't have 1,000 subs after a year?
You got to get them 1,000 subs because the rolling target on those watch hours keeps rolling and it doesn't stay cleared forever. It keeps rolling month to month. It rolls month to month. So you got to get them other 500 subscribers.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta do it. Got to do it.
You gotta do it. I made a whole video on how to get your first 1,000 subscribers. Watch time is usually harder for people, so you gotta. But also, there are plenty of people who are success stories of either the free information here on the channel or going to coaching or coming to some of the live events in person. So, like, that is something that, you know, if you want to know, like if anybody here has either done one of the workshops, like every month now, we just started this. Every month we're doing live workshops. Right now we're doing them mostly on brand deals with my Awesome Creator Academy. There's a link in the description. Anybody who's attended one of those or anybody who is an Awesome Creator Academy direct group coaching member or somebody who's worked with me one-on-one, you can feel free to share in the live chat what your experiences have been. But there's plenty of people here who've probably done that at some point. But most of y'all who are watching right now, you've gotten some value from the content, even at $0.
All right. First off, shout out to West Chef for becoming a channel member. What's up, dude?
Yeah, what's up?
That. And also, Roberto, you didn't tell me you were married, bro.
I'm not married. What the hell?
There is a Mrs. Blake in the chat, sir. We need answers, Roberto. We need answers. There's a Mrs. Blake in the chat. What is going on?
No relation.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
No relation. Nope. Single and ready to mingle. No relation.
Okay. All right.
No relation. Single and ready to mingle. Millennial Girls Diary. Thanks for Road and Viper for sharing gems. My subs are growing now 5K, but not seeing a correlation with views, which are still low. Any suggestions? So, Millennial Girls Diary. First of all, I love the name. That's actually really good. Strong profile pic there. I'd maybe crop it in just a little, but all good. Here's my thought. I need to know what you think the amount of views are supposed to be. Because I'll tell you that right now, most people don't realize that 5 to 20% would be crushing it. There's no such animal as a view to subscriber ratio being legit, by the way. YouTube employees themselves, I've talked to enough YouTube employees, view to subscriber ratio is not something YouTube themselves care about.
What if
brands might, though?
What if
brands might?
What if Viper told y'all that YouTube does not notify every subscriber when you drop a video? So you might have 5,000 subscribers, but they might not all get the notification when you drop a video. Actually, they don't.
Actually, Viper, you want me to show them that data?
Let's go. Let's get to the data. Yes, let's do this. Yeah, the whole view to subscriber correlation thing is a myth. It's
huge myth. Like it's not even real. Like it's something YouTubers made up. It's something YouTubers like made up. Either I don't know whether it was to try to make sense of things or to big themselves up or what. I don't know. But where is it? Here it is. All right, let me blow this up.
Blow it up.
Blow it up. Blow it up. There you go. All right, watch this. subscriber bell notifications. How many of your subscribers choose to receive all notifications from your channel, and how many actually receive those notifications based on their YouTube and device settings? This data excludes subscribers who choose not to receive personalized notifications. Additional factors can prevent subs from receiving notifications, such as whether they're signed in. All right, and so this channel, by the way, my channel had an audience before notifications existed on YouTube. So guess what? If your channel is an older channel like mine, and you had an audience before YouTube even invented notifications, they did not opt in your subscribers to the notifications anyway and expected you to promote it when we didn't even know whether notifications was a feature that YouTube would keep or whether we knew whether it would matter in the long run. We had no clue, and they didn't necessarily do the greatest job teaching us about it, and they decided to make it very important somehow. And it directly affects whether or not subscribers actually matter. And so since about roughly, I want to say 2016, that subscriber count number hasn't really mattered that much in terms of having any correlation to your actual views. 5 to 20%. So you can look at people who are huge. You can look at PewDiePie, for example. 100 million subscribers, and I love PewDiePie, so no one think this is shade at PewDiePie. This is no shade, no tea. I'm using him for math because he's the biggest solo YouTuber. He's massively relevant and beloved by the community. All right, 100 million subscribers. Go look at his last 30 videos, and you'll see that it's been very hard for him to crack 5 million views. Meanwhile, there are YouTubers who don't have 5 million subs that crack 5 million views. So there's not really any correlation between your subscriber count and your views other than this. If someone views your videos, they could become a subscriber, but then there's no guarantee that they'll see another video or how they'll see another video. So what really ultimately matters when it comes down to it is understanding these traffic sources and realizing that your YouTube subscribers is not really like the biggest factor. You need to focus on the YouTube channel homepage, because out of all the views you're going to get, it's probably going to come down to the YouTube channel homepage and not your subscriber feed.
So if we look at Roberto's numbers, if you want to go back to that screen, this dude has 538,000 subscribers, and only 35,000 of them have the notification turned on for him.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the maximum cap out of what that can do for me in the first place. And by the way, a lot of that has to do with the fact that YouTube never opted in my old audience when they made notifications a thing, and they also didn't insist. They didn't they told us tell people to hit the notification bell, but you already have to tell them to do so many things. You have to tell them to double subscribe, basically. I mean, yeah, the people who did it worked out really well for them, but it's already hard and awkward enough to just get people, tell them to hit the subscribe button. So yeah, so look at this. The majority of all the things associated with browse features, the majority of views, it's not even close what I've gotten out of let's look at the last 90 days. Let's look at the last 90 days. Out of the last 90 days, it's not even close in terms of what I've gotten out of it in terms of people who are subscribers versus just homepage views. So the homepage is what matters, because look at the difference. If it's a choice between the subscription feed versus the homepage, over 80% is the homepage. So subscriber count and subscriber feed doesn't really do jack. It's balanced in the sense that I get coverage maybe sometimes from suggested videos, which is 10%, external traffic from multiple places, people sharing my stuff, 11%. Search is twice that, and then browse features is almost twice of search. So in terms of hierarchy, shares can be powerful, related videos can be powerful. Most of my suggested videos are my own videos. It's not even other YouTuber stuff recommending me. These are all my videos. The stuff that recommends my videos the most is my own inventory. And that'll probably be true for most of you. There's a few other little like videos out there that maybe get me some exposure, but most of it's my own content. So again, the thing that most of you can do, if you don't trust what I'm saying here, with the data doesn't lie. If you want to, like, if your thing is YouTube and the views and the growth, and again, I'm trying to talk to y'all about money. Y'all keep dragging me back into views and subscribers. I'm trying to talk to y'all about money. You can watch views and subscriber videos on my channel all day right now.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Oh,
I've already made videos on views and subs.
I can get into a whole tangent about other things, but I'll behave tonight.
I've already made every video that needs to be made about growing a YouTube channel. I've already made every single video on growing a YouTube channel that exists in every $500 course that is sold on growing a YouTube channel for free.
So I thought Annette in her earlier, I think she's still here, but she asked about making mistakes on live streams and how that she's afraid of that. Listen, there could be mistakes made.
I do it all the time.
That's part of growing as a creator. I mean, you're going to make mistakes. Don't let that deter you. If you're not making mistakes, you're not growing. I mean, that's just that's the reality of it. You're going to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Roberto made mistakes. Vibrate made mistakes. Your favorite creators have made mistakes. We all make mistakes. We grow, we learn from them, and we move on. That's all it is.
That's all you do. That's all you can do. That's life. That's life. That's life. That's all people say.
Man, this dude is like on it tonight with these super chat.
Oh, we got another super chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, it's DJ Butta.
Again.
Do keywords in SEO matter anymore? When you started the stream, you alluded to it not being meaningful. No, I was poking fun at people thinking that it doesn't matter anymore. It's never been the most important thing. But when you're a small YouTuber and nobody knows who you are, making search-friendly content can be really, really helpful because people care about certain topics, and there's topics that people will always look up every month of every year, and you can get a lot of potential views and growth off of that, and then people could start to get to know you and like you. But when people don't know who you are, they don't care what you eat in a day. They don't care what you eat in a day. They don't care about your vlog. They don't care about things they don't care about. They don't care about things that are not meaningful to them. So search content is about a predictable amount of things that people search for and watch, but it's not just search. It's also about general discovery. Like we talked about Squid Game earlier. There's people searching for videos on Squid Game. It's probably one of the most searched things right now. But at the same time, there's also discovery and recommendations with YouTube saying, if people are looking for, people watched other videos about Squid Game, if you have a video about Squid Game, I'm going to recommend it. But, okay, how does YouTube know that your video is about Squid Game? Yeah, and we can say all we want how good YouTube's algorithm and AI is, it still makes mistakes. So you might want to go ahead and label your, it makes mistakes. So you might want to label your content.
Yeah.
That's why I still use tags. By the way, biggest YouTubers, as much as people say SEO is dead, SEO doesn't matter, then why does Graham Stephan still use tags? Why does Graham Stephan still use tags? Oh, YouTube says tags doesn't matter. Creator Insider still uses tags. Ooh. YouTube's own internal team still uses tags in their videos. Sony still uses tags in their videos. The biggest brands in the world still use tags in their videos. In fact, everybody was able to decipher the specs in the new Sony cameras because in all their promo videos, they had all of the specs in their tags for keywords. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they don't matter at all. If they don't matter, YouTube will take them out of the system.
Okay, so let's break this down a little bit. Just because we're telling you that search matters does not mean you go and make your titles search friendly. A lot of people try to title their video for the algorithm, for the robot, and that is the wrong way to do it because you have to remember it's not a robot who you're trying to get to watch your videos. You are trying to get actual human beings to watch your videos. So when you title your videos, you should be titling them for actual human beings. So instead of calling your video Squid Game, title your video something like, I can't believe this happened in Squid Game, and then go from there. Because again,
someone made a video how to beat Squid Game.
There you go. There you go. I don't know how y'all talking about my mic is over.
Someone might do a compilation video, Squid Game, 10 most brutal deaths or something. Like, I mean, somebody might.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be all kinds of things. Like every character in Squid Game, like, and their backstory. Like, boom, somebody's gonna like capitalize off of that. Somebody is going to. There are gonna be people who make entire breakdowns of everything Squid Game, and there's an audience that's gonna watch that. There's an audience that's gonna watch that. Big C views. How can we be consistent, bro? I quit my channel after one video, although it got 80 views. Like 80 views for one video when nobody knows who you are is like really good. To be real with you, like you quit after one upload, it's like maybe you don't want to be a YouTuber. I mean, if I said I want to be a gamer and I quit the first time that I play Metroid and die, which I did a lot because Metroid Dread is hard, legit hard. But if I like, you either committed to something or you're not. And it's okay if that's not right now, by the way. It's okay if it's not right now, but imagine picking up a sport, playing basketball one time after saying, I want to be Michael Jordan, I want to be a basketball player, I want to be LeBron James. Imagine picking up a basketball one time, and then because you miss 100 baskets, but you make 3, you decide that basketball is not for you. You haven't even really given it a try yet.
If you're not committed to being successful on YouTube, you have no chance. There's going to be a lot of downs, but there's going to be a lot of ups too. YouTube is an actual real life roller coaster. If you're not prepared, yeah, you're not going to make it.
Yeah. I mean, I say make 100 videos and learn and even see if you like it. And don't make 100 just to make 100, and don't make 100 videos and post them just randomly and make like 100 things that you didn't try at. When I say make 100 crappy videos, I mean, you're going to try your heart out, but you have to understand you've never done it before. So don't expect them to be great. Expect them that they'll get less crappy every time you do it. The biggest YouTubers, aside from a few standouts who had a background in video and photography, you go like, AKA, don't go look at like Peter McKinnon's first videos, but go look at Mr. Beast's first videos. Go look at PewDiePie's first videos. Look at Marquez Brownlee's first videos. None of them were good. Like none of them. And they're the biggest people in YouTube, and none of them were good. Like, sorry, like that's the truth. They'll tell you themselves. Like none of their content was great. None of their content was revolutionary. None of their stuff was show-stopping. Graham Stephan himself, he said, man, I don't even have the personality to be a YouTuber, but I've always wanted to, and I'm going to do it anyway. He's sitting at like 3 million subs now, getting more views every upload than Gary Vee. Every upload has 3 other channels now. He has the Graham Stephan Show, which is almost at, I think that's almost to 1 million subs. It's definitely got a silver play button. The podcast, the Iced Coffee Hour, just got a silver play button. His vlog channel with his crew, the family, that one's starting to get some traction as a lifestyle channel. So like, Graham's got, and now they have the Clip Show channel for the podcast. So he's got 5 YouTube channels. And this is someone who 4 years ago had the audacity to say, I'm not cut out to be a YouTuber.
Listen, if you have been a content
5 successful channels.
If you've been a content creator for at least a year and you can't look back at your first video and laugh, you are doing it wrong.
You got to look back at it and laugh. You also got to look back at it and say, I'm better today than I was then. And I'm like, this is how.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
And so, I mean, yeah. So, I love this one. What's the proper way to approach a brand that you want to work with? Viper?
You are.
Also, thank you to the 300 live viewers. 300 live viewers.
We own that 300. Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
So, what's the proper way to approach a brand you want to work with? So, if you're first starting out, they're not going to know you from a can of paint. So, it's all about organic interaction. So, let's say you have a product of the brand that you use and you like. You could take a picture or make a video about you using that brand and tag the brand on social media so they can know that you are out there and they can be aware of you. And then if you like keep like getting products from that brand, or you keep using product from that brand, you keep tagging them and different things like that. Also, find out people that work at that brand, like find out who their PR people are, or find out just people that work with that brand on social media, find out who they are and follow them and interact organically with them. Because again, what a lot of us fail to realize is that brands are more than just brands. There are actual people that work at these brands. So if you interact with them organically, naturally, as regular everyday people, you would be surprised how far that would take you. I had a brand reach out to me a couple of years ago. I was following one of their PR people. I didn't ask for nothing. I was just following him, interacting with him organically. I knew he wasn't going to be a good fit for my content because that was back when I was covering only Apple stuff. But the dude still emailed me out of the blue one day anyway. He was like, look, Viper, I know you cover Apple stuff, but would you be willing to take a look at our phone? And I was like, absolutely. And this all happened because I was interacting with him organically on Twitter, following him, interacting with him, just making conversation, and built up a relationship, a friendship with him. And he reached out to me, even though he knew I didn't cover his brand like that, he still reached out to me to ask me
what phone did this end up being?
One of the TTL phone. It was TTL.
Okay, nice. Oh yeah, you were one of the only people that actually covered the TCL phone.
Yeah, back when it first came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I obviously, like I said, back at that time, I was covering only Apple. So, I mean, why would he reach out to me? He reached out to me because he liked my character and he liked my content. So he reached out anyway. So there you go.
And so that's great in terms of like getting people, building relationships organically and also getting them to approach you. By the way, if y'all are wondering about these tunes in the background, that's some of that Zenbuster music for you guys. So make sure you're going to youtube.com/Zenbuster and you start playing some of that in your background. It's also copyright free for content creators. But yeah, approaching brands. I have this like real interesting thesis about a lot of that, Viper. And I think a lot of it is coming to the brands as an advocate already and as a fan, and also not coming cold out of nowhere. So like, how do you build rapport with a brand? Well, first thing I would do is this. I would sit there and I would write down what brands that I would be willing to work with today, even if they weren't going to pay me, just to get in with those brands. Like, who would I desperately want to work with, just even from I'm a fan standpoint, right? So which brands am I a fanboy for? So I write those down. Here's the next thing I do. I go and I follow all of their social media accounts and I put them on notifications. And to make sure I don't miss nothing from them, I take everybody else off notifications. I kill all my other notifications except for Viper and Roberto, and then all the brands I want to work with. So make sure you follow Viper and Roberto on every platform with notifications on, and you can unfollow everybody else. Stop. I'm playing. Let me stop. But yeah, I would turn off notifications for everybody but a few accounts, and then all the brands I want to follow. Then with the brands I want to work with, I would be sitting there and I would comment on something if I have something to input. I would comment even to some of the other people interacting on that content. And I would also be sharing that content, and I'd be letting them like see me interacting, sharing, liking, being part of the community. Do you realize how hard it is just to get a damn retweet, Viper? I mean, Christ, there's only so many people that's going to do that on a brand. So you do that. Here's the other thing. You start supporting the influencers, doing sponsored content from those brands too. And you start taking a hard look at them, and you start looking at how they're going about their brand deals and their content, and you study that. And then all of a sudden, if you want to reach out to a brand, if you want to shoot them a DM because they follow you back, if you want to send them an email, the social media and comms team probably have at least an idea who you are because you've been interacting with the brand. You've been like wearing the merchandise. You've been, helping promote. You also could become an affiliate of the brand if they have an affiliate program, and already become one of their best salespeople to your audience before they ever give you a deal, so that you can make yourself prove that you're worthy of a deal because you're already pushing product. You go out there, you push the brand authentically. You go out there, you push the product authentically. You already support the other people that are getting sponsored by the brand. You're setting up all the karma you need to be able to work with that brand. You're getting all the karma you need to be part of that family.
So check this out, y'all.
Oh, by the way, you could also join my live brand deals workshop, link in the description.
So
we do them every month.
So you want to know how to work with brands, right? So here's a little anecdote for you guys. I was one of the first people who ever started using StreamYard. Like when it first came out in 2019, I was the first person. I am a partner with StreamYard, but I don't have a brand deal like Roberto does from StreamYard. But I promise you this, by the end of 2022, Viper will have a brand deal with StreamYard. So be on the lookout. It's coming.
There's multiple ways to have a relationship with a brand. You can be a brand ambassador. And the thing is, you might work with them in some capacity. And it may not be always on your platform. It might be on their platform. That's something people don't think about. Sometimes your views, your subscribers, your reach doesn't matter. Sometimes it's you being on their platform because they need talent to rep them. Somebody's getting paid. There's different ways to, have a relationship. It's not about follower counts. What if you literally are like, hey, we need to use you on this campaign, and we need photos, and we need somebody to be the model for the campaign. Oh, all of a sudden you're the talent. It ain't about your audience and your reach. We just need somebody with the look for the campaign. We need a human being that is like, okay, all right. Same thing if you were the actor or actress in an ad. So all of a sudden you're the talent. What if they need you to be the person who makes the content for their channel? All of a sudden you're a talent because you're a content producer. All of a sudden it's not about your reach or your influence, it's about your talent. All right. So that's one different relationship with a brand. What if you become an advisor to the brand to make the product better? All of a sudden it's not about your reach. It's about your skills. It's about your smarts. So what if you're an advisor? That's what I do for a couple of brands. I make a couple of grand a month just as an advisor. That's not even being a consultant. What if you're then another level and they say, hey, we need to contract you to come in and do some stuff for us and talk to us about strategy and stuff like that. We need you. We need a bigger commitment of your time and your brain power. Well, now that's a different relationship and you're working with a brand. And that's not even a brand deal as an influencer. And so we already covered a couple of different relationships. You can be an affiliate. I'm one of two buddies, number one affiliates, top in the top 15 of all sales. They used to be in the top 5. But we got some more people and they've been hustling. So like, but I'm gonna get my crown back. Watch me. So like, again, like TubeBuddy, one of the top tier affiliates in the game. So, I mean, you got affiliate relationships. And then in terms of sponsored content, they can sponsor you on recorded content. They can sponsor you on things like your stream. Once again, shout out to today's sponsors. StreamYard, the simplest way to do live streaming, and our friends over at TubeBuddy, the best plugin in the land. These are sponsors that I have a deep relationship with. I'm also an affiliate. I also advise them and help make the products better and take all of your complaints about everything directly to them and fight for y'all. So again, there's a lot of relationships that you can have when it comes to working with brands. And the thing is, you could be somebody who is the talent on their team. I mean, Viper, you had a brand deal with vidIQ. You had an affiliate deal with vidIQ, but then you ended up becoming a talent for the company.
Yeah. I am now a full-time employee with vidIQ.
Yeah. And you're still an affiliate, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yeah.
So you have that 2-level deep relationship with that. And you also are a host. So the thing is, part of you, you're a talent and you do this and you do that, but you're also a host. And the thing is, that's another level of relationship. So there's a lot of ways to make this work. And the thing is, a lot of that had nothing to do with your reach. It had to do with your reputation.
Yes, sir. You are correct.
Yeah. So again, there's so many things that come into play with working with brands. You have to, I mean, some of it becomes choose your own adventure there.
Yeah, but it goes back to what I told you guys earlier, though. You are always being watched, especially on social media. Assume that wherever you are on the internet, you're being watched, whether it's a private room or not. You're being watched. There's no such thing as a private room. Just be mindful of how you conduct yourself online, because somebody will always use it against you if you're out of pocket. I know.
Yeah. Viper, whatever the issue was with your mic, it's fixed, so don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, I don't need to go. I don't think it was an issue, but yeah, I think somebody had their audio low. But yeah, we missed a couple of super chats. We probably should go back and cover those.
I'm trying to. Here we go. The Ingram experience. Can you explain this great news? People on YouTube are choosing to watch this video more often than usual, but the video only has 20 views.
Are you sure you're looking at the right video?
Are you looking at the right video? And how many views are your other videos getting?
Yeah, because usually they'll tell you which video it is that's drawing that traffic. So I'm guessing the one that you're paying attention to, probably not the one that they're talking about.
Yeah, so you might want to either check that in the studio, or it could be a glitch. Could be,
yeah. What else we got going on here?
Let's see.
Oh, somebody was asking earlier in the chat. How can Viper be a full-time creator with 6,000 subs? I am not, but I do. Again,
he's a full-time creator. He's not a full-time YouTuber. There's a difference.
Yeah, I'm a full-time.
You're thinking YouTuber, and a lot of you think living off of YouTube AdSense. That's why you look at sub counts. I know full-time YouTubers who have 10K subscribers. I know people making $100,000 a year. They have 10,000 subscribers. They have a niche. They have a niche that makes them a lot more money in something other than AdSense. Y'all, I made $300,000 last year. You think it was because I have 500,000 subscribers? You think it was because I made $40,000 in AdSense? What do you think? What do you think happened? I'll tell you what happened. Diversification of revenue streams.
Ooh.
Like, it doesn't matter. I know people with 10 and 20,000 subscribers that make more money than people with 100,000 and 250,000 subscribers because of the difference of their niche. Because a lot of you worship views and subs too much. You look up to big YouTubers too much because of their view and subscriber counts. And I'll say that to say this. Watch this. Viper, there are people making 1 million views on YouTube. And do you know how much they get for that 1 million views? They get, like, if they're lucky, $500 to $1,000.
Yeah.
On 1 million views.
That's
I had
crazy.
a video recently do 20,000 views and make $500 just on the ad revenue. And it was also a sponsored video, so it made a lot more than that. And it also generated affiliate sales and it generated product sales. It was the gift that keeps on giving.
Man.
And it didn't need to get 1 million views to make more money than someone who gets 1 million views.
Oh my goodness.
Because there are niches in YouTube where the majority of YouTubers make 1/10 of a penny per view if they're lucky. 1/10 of a penny per view if they're lucky. And then if you get much higher CPMs, you're making 1 to 2 cents per penny. And that's the difference. The other thing is, YouTubers who do things that do massive views are very hard to scale in terms of, one, sometimes it limits the amount of brands they can work with, and it limits them to brands that don't pay as much. Some of those content creators, because they're entertainment, also end up making very bad deals where they do pay for performance content, and they have to promise the brand that they'll do a certain number of views, or they have to do another video before they get paid. And that's in the contracts. And that's the thing I tell people to not put in their contracts and negotiate. And there's people that get undermined on that. I was able to do a one-on-one coaching call with a YouTuber, Viper, that has, I think, 60,000 subscribers. But because of his niche, he's one of the biggest YouTubers in his niche because of what it is. He was afraid to ask for a $15,000 contract on a 6-video deal. I helped him structure that brand deal by explaining to him, because he was doing something where he was going to have to do a long-term project with them. And because he was taking a little bit of risk in the type of videos they were asking him to do. And because of the concept of licensing fees to be able for them to promote and use his likeness in their own ads and promotional stuff, we were able to restructure his deal and get it to $35,000. And the brand took the deal without arguing. And this is someone who doesn't even have 100,000 subscribers. $35,000, 6-video contract, and there's another 20,000 on the table because he has the reputation in his niche. He's one of the top 20 channels in his niche, even though he has only 65,000 subscribers only, and he can get a 35,000 brand deal. Do you know that I know YouTubers much bigger than that cannot even hope to get that kind of deal?
I'm sure.
This is the delusion of views and subscribers, instead of treating YouTube like a business and understanding the market of your business and understanding that one niche is not like the other. Every niche in YouTube is different, and it's playing to different business interests, different brand deals, different levels and price points for brand deals. That's why views and subscribers don't matter to brand deals. The niche that you're in and the companies that are in that niche are what matter to brand deals, and what it is that you can put into the agreement, and what is also normal in that industry, and also the price of the product that we're talking about, and the affluence of the audience. There's a number of variables that ain't got jack to do with your views and subscribers. But YouTubers keep worshiping views and subscribers because that's a vanity metric that's in front of them, and they have no idea what's going on in the back end of a business. No idea.
Was that a lot of the stuff people don't realize is this, it can go it can go outside of YouTube. So you don't have to just have YouTube as a part of the deal. You can have your YouTube, maybe have a Twitter or Instagram post. Or
Instagram would be right now. Everyone's so excited about TikTok. They don't realize that most brands have not caught up with TikTok, and that Instagram Reels, grow your Instagram. Instagram is bona fide. YouTube, Instagram is the hierarchy. There are some brands that really are into TikTok and care about, but most of them don't. Most of them don't. And some of that also has a little bit to do with China and Tencent. I won't get super into it.
Yeah.
But our relationship with China always makes TikTok something I have anxiety about, with people building so much there when it could go away very easily because of our relationship with China. But Instagram and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, there's a lot that's going on there that people don't talk about. But I can tell you, in the dashboard of the software that I use to see what brands see when they're vetting creators, Instagram is important. It's more important than you realize. And that can be a point of negotiation. Clubhouse can be a point of negotiation. Your email list can be a point of negotiation. Inclusion on your website in your resources page can be like, people don't realize that email lists are massive leverage for brand deals. In some niches, LinkedIn and having 10,000 followers in LinkedIn, that's not a lot for me. There's massive leverage in LinkedIn for the right niche. Again, might be nothing to those of you who are entertainment channels, but I'm telling you that a lot of problems I see is that everyone assumes that YouTube is just YouTube, and they're not breaking it in to its market verticals and looking at the brands that exist in different verticals and different niches to work with, or the fact that different business models lend themselves to different niches.
Yeah. I got a 5-figure brand deal in Clubhouse.
Yeah. Clubhouse. And you didn't even need 10,000 followers in Clubhouse.
Nope.
So like, y'all, a 5-figure brand deal on a platform that a lot of y'all ain't even rocking with, and not even needing 10,000 subscribers or followers to do it. Y'all care way too much about views and subscribers. Way too much. Real business does not work that way. The YouTuber way that y'all are used to, you're taking too much to the identity of being a YouTuber versus content creator. And that's okay. You want to be a full-time YouTuber? You need to start thinking, I put full-time YouTuber in the title of this video to get y'all to click on it. Like, yeah, real talk. I clickbaited you because I'm talking about being a full-time content creator. I'm talking about being a full-time creator on your own terms. I'm talking about having the ability to work from home, set your own prices, set your own rate, make the money that you want to make, and regardless of what platform and what's going on in the platform.
Not really clickbait though.
I'm just calling it clickbait.
Yeah, not clickbait.
Because I'm delivering. So
yeah,
what is it?
We are delivering. We are delivering.
Yeah, we are delivering. Yeah. Thank you for the correction there. You're right. Like, but there are so many ways to make money as a content creator.
That's the beauty of it. And
so many ways.
Here's the other thing. The creator economy is just getting started, you all.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
If you're watching this live stream for whatever reason, you're not in the game yet, you still have time to get in the game. You can get in the game today and get in on the creator economy, because they're, like he said earlier, there's more than enough to go around.
Viper, I make double my old salary in purely passive income off of affiliate marketing on software as a service on contracts that are already sold. It's like being retired.
Man.
It's like being retired. It took me 5 years to do that, but that's the like fire movement hustle. That's some of that financial independence, retire early style hustle. Again, I'm not retired. I love what I do, but I'm probably never retire.
The creator economy is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's only growing.
YouTube did 30 billion for 30 billion, like I think for creators, like in just last year. I think so far they haven't even reported I think Q3 earnings. We're about to start Q4, which is the biggest part of the year for them, and they're over I think 16 billion just off Q1 and Q2. Like, it's that massive. The creator economy did conservatively over 100 billion last year, I think. Like, and the thing is, we have more platforms that are about to start monetizing creators this year. New platforms started offering creators money. Very soon, you're going to see people talking about Instagram doing ad revenue splits with creators. You're probably already hearing a little bit about that. They're going to be doing that. They also did a influencer marketplace shop. They're about to incorporate affiliate directly
I
into
just
that.
applied for the Twitch Spark program, which
Twitch.
is,
I didn't even hear about that. What's the Twitch Spark program?
so you know that not Twitch, Twitter Spark program. Twitter,
Okay.
you know, they have their clubhouse clone called Twitter Spaces. So Twitter has a program now that they're trying to get people to host more Twitter Spaces, and they will pay you $2,500 a month for I think 3 months if they choose you to be a part of this program. So I just applied to do that. So that's another way.
I need the link for that application, Viper.
I think the 22nd was the last day, unfortunately. So it's deadline is passed. But
sheesh.
Yeah. But yeah, even Twitter getting on monetizing creators. Like all these platforms are monetizing creators, and that's why we keep trying to tell you guys you need to diversify your income, because YouTube is not the only game in town no more. There are more places for money to be made now than just YouTube. It's not about
people I know who couldn't make it and go full time in YouTube. A lot of them went over and they made it in either TikTok or Twitch, and are crushing it.
So how does that mean? Twitter has a few ways you can monetize. They have super follows now, so it's almost like a little mini Patreon going on, so people can pay monthly to like have access to special tweets or whatever. They also have ticketed spaces where you can host a Twitter space and pay for people to get in there. And like I said, they also are now doing a Spark program where they're going to pay people to host Twitter spaces. So they got a few ways that you can monetize over there on Twitter. They're getting in this too.
Yeah. I think I caught the $50 super chat. I think we actually did spend quite a bit of time on it. Thank you for the $4.49 one. We covered the other one for $4.99. There was it's DJ Buddha says, been on the radio for a decade, DJ'd for 25 years. I listened to my mixes from year one of my career. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Can you still grow doing one video a week, or is it 3 a week? It's you can grow from one video a week. You just will not grow as fast as somebody who, like, potentially, unless your videos are so good that, like, it just depends. I mean, I'll tell you the truth. For me, everyone says, I mean, here's the thing. I think a lot of people try to be very nice and they try to be very humble and say, oh yeah, you can just upload whenever you can. And like, the truth, you'll get better and faster the more often you upload. Probably you have more swings, more at bats. So statistically, your odds are better of getting traction. You have a better chance of learning quicker when it's compressed. And so I just don't think that somebody doing something part-time can't compete with somebody doing it full-time in most cases. That's just a harsh truth of it. And I'm not saying that to be discouraging. I'm saying that to say, if you only can do once a week, then don't get frustrated that people who can do more than that might grow faster, because that makes sense. That makes sense. If you're only able to put in so many hours, but somebody can put in 3 times the hours, put in 3 times the work, and then a lot of people think quality over quantity will save them. It's like, maybe not, because you might think it's quality and the audience might disagree. So quality over quantity may not save you. But if you had more swings, more opportunities, you might find that you don't need to go as hard as you thought you did. You just have to have the right idea. And then some of y'all are spending so much quality time on the wrong things. You're spending so much time editing and you're spending no time on your title and your thumbnail. And I'm wondering why views aren't coming. When the thing is, I don't know how long you spent editing, because I will only click on your video based on topic, title, and thumbnail.
There you go. See, we got super chat coming up in here.
So No Chill Dill says, have an okay following via my live streams. Would you recommend YouTube ads for music? Music videos are my strength, or just focus on search? I don't believe in running ads to grow a YouTube channel at all. I know that's a strategy some people like to recommend. I don't agree with it. It makes YouTube money and it doesn't help you. So, or rather, it makes Google money and it doesn't help you. If you want to run ads, sell something. I believe spending money to make money makes sense, but there's no equation where spending money on YouTube, Google ads, in my opinion, makes you money if you're not selling something. I do not believe it will grow your channel from a loyal audience and find the right audience if you buy ads. I think that ads exist to sell things. Or raise money for causes and charities. Like, ads exist for certain purposes. Growing a YouTube channel is not one of them, in my point of view. I think that the best way to grow a YouTube channel is organically. And I will always believe that.
Yeah, the whole using ads to try and grow a channel, no, that's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good way to give Google money.
Yeah.
No offense to Google. It's a very good way to give them money. My schedule only permits once a week. Then, yeah, dude, that's what I would do. If it only gives you once a week, do it. That's what I did until I could do more. And when I could do more, I grew faster because that's usually what happens. Today with JJ. Thank you guys for the video and streams. It helped my channel so much. Have a good night. Thank you. And thank you for that $20 super chat. Let's see. Got a $1.99. Thank you for the advice. Thank you for the $1.99. It was like a $9.99. Here it is. Sup, Roberto? Good to see you again. How do you get a StreamYard sponsorship? I was already advocating for them and I was using it quite a bit. And so actually they came to me. 80% of my brand deals come to me. 80% of my brand deals come to me, and they came to me because of my reputation in the creator economy, and also through them already having a lot of people that they were working with that recommended me as well to say, you should absolutely reach out to Roberto. And so having a good reputation, being somebody that people can get along with, not making enemies, it goes a long way. These are real gems. After watching Roberto's videos on how to approach YouTube, I got monetized after 5 months. Congratulations today with JJ. That's hard to do. 5 months. Nice.
Definitely.
So we should have bought YouTube stock and letters. Well, you'd be buying Google stock Class A and Class C and not financial advice. But I think long term, I think literally, if I were to throw every dollar I make on YouTube AdSense into buying Google stock, I think I would come out ahead. Like, to be real with you, on a long enough timeline, I think if I'd been buying Google stock for the last 10 years, I'd be richer than making YouTube videos for the last 10 years.
Probably.
So yeah, about that Google stock. The Google stock, that Apple stock is the gift that keeps on giving, Viper.
No doubt. Yo, Buddha, thank you for all the super chats and conversation, man.
Yeah, this man's the MVP of the night, swear.
No doubt. So we got JT Helped. He's been a channel member for 9 months, and he says, Roberto, which does a personal injury lawyer have the biggest opportunity for success on? TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram? I've done all of them on YouTube.
I think for the long term, probably YouTube, but I think there's a lot of opportunity for any kind of lawyer in TikTok if you can lean into meme culture. I mean, Logan Paul is fighting Mike Tyson. If you're a personal injury lawyer, it's like, I mean, I might meme it and make jokes about that fight, like, to be very, like, because that's what I would do. I mean, it's a little trolly, but that's probably what I would do, to be honest. Like, think about it. Mike Tyson, Logan Paul. I think he might need a personal injury attorney at that. Like, see, we're already leaning into the jokes.
Just a little bit.
No offense to Logan, but you're fighting about Mike Tyson, guy who says this, like, I just hit people. I just like to punch through them. Like, that's a little rough there, guy. I think you're gonna need a personal injury lawyer. Might want to up that insurance policy,
bro.
I want to take a bet out against yourself.
I didn't even know this was happening, but let me give Logan a piece of advice. What you did against Floyd, do not do against Mike Tyson. You don't want to stand up. No, don't do that, bro. Don't do that.
Here's my advice: run.
Really?
You run.
Don't take that fight back out, bro. Back out of that fight.
Run. No, take the fight, get the bag, and run around that ring until the time is up.
Really?
And keep them hands up.
all the way up.
All the way up.
Protect yourself all the way up. Protect yourself at all times.
It's like, and take out a good insurance policy. You know, don't be out there partying the night before. Just go in there and come out in one piece, homie.
Boy, bro, Mike Tyson's a different animal, man.
Oh my God. No. So yeah, so like I would so yeah, I mean but again, here's like stuff like that. I'd lean into stuff like that. I'd maybe even personally injury lawyer reacts to and then I would like look at like the worst like stunts or things where like people screwed up or bloopers where people got hurt, and it's like I'd probably react to that and then tell people like, well, as a personal injury lawyer, here's how much that's worth, and start racking up the money and doing videos like that. It's like so I would do weird stuff like that. I mean, I would use it to get attention, and then because people know your name, it gets you out there. It's free press. What you have to look at if you're a professional of some kind is these platforms literally pay you to market yourself and market your business. Yeah. That's how I look at it. I look at it as like, oh my God, you're getting paid to market your business instead of buy ads. That's insanity.
Ooh, so that's why we got more super chat coming in. All right, here we go.
So my videos are getting a lot more views, but over 90% of people who watch my content are not subscribed. Is that normal? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Usually only 1% of people will subscribe.
Very normal.
Yeah. 1%. 1% rule. If you get more than that, you might be charismatic.
All right. Maddie Crayon says, as a pilot, I posted a bunch of flying content on IG, but now I only have a whole bunch of pilot subscribers. Should I create a separate IG feed for my flying stuff? What should I be putting on my Maddie Crayon IG?
If your audience is kids, I would highly advise you not thinking that that's the content for IG as a play for that anyway. And if you have only pilot, like figure out which one of these like you can change and make the pilot stuff and keep that separate. Like in general, y'all got to keep audiences and brands separate. Like if you're going to have an Instagram that's tied to your YouTube identity specifically, and you're not a personal brand, you're not a personality, you're not a public figure per se, but you're known for only like one thing, your Instagram has to be that one thing. And then if you want a personal Instagram, you have a personal Instagram to share all the things you care about for people who care about you. But if you have a brand on YouTube, your Instagram that is tied to your YouTube brand needs to be in the same niche for the same people. Now, as for the IG thing, they're getting like Instagram and Facebook are kind of getting hit about young people being on that. So if you want to make one for your Maddie Crayon thing, maybe that's supposed to target parents. Because your stuff is for kids and you don't want to get caught up in them saying, oh, like anything to do with like kids until or unless they get to make the Instagram Kids app, which by the way, I know that they got a lot of crap from people like that. I think the Instagram Kids app is a great idea. Create a separate place, just like YouTube Kids. Create a separate place that we know you can put the kids if they want to be doing the same things and mimicking their older siblings or their parents. It's one man's point of view.
All right. So, what's it? Dom Stay Winning says I monetized in 3 months, 2K subs. I upload 2 to 3 times a week, and I live stream daily, but don't get more than 10 people showing up. How can I get more to show up?
The live streaming is rough in terms of getting people to show up because I'd need to know things like, are you doing it at a consistent time? Are you promoting it? Do people know? And then is it at a time when your audience can even be available to show up? Because for me, like this time, the weekends gives me, believe it or not, optimal time for people to show up. And I timed it to where I usually do my streams when people aren't in church, so I don't have to compete with that. So it depends on when people can show up. That's a big part of it. And you have to know that.
Yeah, trying to mix live streaming into like regular uploads is a little tricky, especially since you said you're a live streaming daily. That's gonna be hard.
Yeah, that's rough.
That could be hard. All right, let's see what else we got here.
Will your strategy benefit us starting from scratch? Yeah. It will, but like if you need to focus, go watch the videos for people under 1,000 subscribers. I have a whole playlist. If you're under 1,000 subscribers, I have a whole playlist for you to get fundamentals down. This is a long tail, holistic point of view of the creator journey and transitioning from employee to being self-employed and going full-time, and some of the business aspects and some of the marketing aspects of it, the big brain strategic stuff. But if you can't even get to 1,000 subscribers, it's not a priority for you. It would matter, but it's mattering in the grand scheme of things. You might not be in a headspace to deal with that. You might need to focus on going from 0 to 1,000.
Yeah. I think some creators, like they are too focused working with brands and getting brand deals when you're first starting out, and you don't have enough experience. You need the experience under your belt first before you can ever think about worrying about working with brands. So get that experience up. All right.
Hello, Maria Nicole. Year 1 YouTube, 100 crappy videos, 970 subs. What should be my focus to make money? Fashion content for women plus 35. I would still focus on growing the audience, and I would still concentrate on getting to 10,000 and learning what your audience will rock with along the way. Because at 10,000, I know you'll have a lot more leverage, and I'll know that you have like a very, very strong community, and that there's enough people out of that 10,000 to monetize in a reasonable way that could get you to the beginnings of making very, very significant money. I think that people try to make money on YouTube way too soon. Viper, I did this for 3 years without making money.
Yeah, sounds about right with me too, man.
Like in year one, I did 10,000 subscribers. However, back in my day, you can get brand deals even with 30,000 subscribers back in my day. You could ask for free products and they'd tell you no. So if you think it was easier back in the day, I beg to differ. So that's the first thing. You couldn't get free products with 30,000 subscribers back in the day. It's insane. Mm-hmm. So like, that's the first thing. So what I do? Well, I wasn't making hardly any money off AdSense, and the money I was making, I signed a very poor multi-channel network deal, an MCN deal. And so they were taking 50% of my revenue after $300. So 50% of everything I made after $300. Why $300, you ask? Because $300 was all I was making. So I had 14,000 subscribers. I signed this deal. They're supposed to help me do all these wonderful things for me, get me brand deals, get me collabs, do all these things. Nope. Keep what you're making and we'll only take 50% off of everything you make after that. It was the worst deal you can make. 2 years locked into that contract, Viper. So all the way up to 100,000 subscribers, I'm locked in that contract. So I was like, I wasn't making any money off YouTube AdSense. Are you kidding me? YouTube AdSense was a joke then, and it's right now. It's like, but that's where I was at. Okay. I made my money even in the beginning from one. How was I able to be a full-time whatever then? It's like, because I was a full-time freelancer, I was doing client work. And then I was doing consulting work. And then later I built other businesses. And so what happened for me was as far as YouTube money, I was making money off affiliate marketing with Amazon mostly at the time. So I started making $1,000 a month off of Amazon doing weekly videos, because remember, I had Tech Tuesdays incorporated into my channel. So I was doing stuff that was tutorials, camera stuff, video editing, lights. I wasn't doing how to grow a YouTube channel content either. I had a background in photography and I was a freelance video editor. So I was doing content that had nothing to do with YouTube growth. I didn't really start talking about YouTube growth actually right until this deal started getting like really bad and I was like regretting it. Because then I was like, I'm going to tell YouTubers how not to get screwed, because I got screwed over in this deal. And then I also had like a couple of bad brand deals too. So I think that literally the reason I started talking to creators is because I got scammed. So like, yeah, you guys are welcome. Like, I got scammed, so you don't have to. So I got scammed for your sins. But anyway, my point is, business-wise, I made almost all of my money outside of YouTube, even when I had 100,000 subscribers. So even 3 years, 0 to 100,000 subscribers, I still made most of my money outside of YouTube, and not even off of brand deals. Most of the stuff I did with brands was me getting access to products, man. It was me getting access to products. Like, I wasn't getting money for most of it. And so that's why this whole diversifying your income streams things is very important to me, because a lot of people have it twisted. A lot of people think that they're going to blow up and they're going to get all this money off of AdSense and brand deals, and that all their fans are going to go out and buy their merchandise, and that's it. And that's what being a YouTube business is. And the thing is, people, even at 100,000 subscribers, realize that this isn't true later. And because I work with a lot of creators that do one-on-one coaching with me, that have 100,000 subscribers, and they still don't know what they're doing. They still need advice. I've had people with 1 million subscribers say, dude, I'm trying to go and be a real business, and I'm trying not to hustle so much. I'm burning out. Or, dude, I think that YouTube might be bad for my marriage. I've had people come to me because they are overworked, overburdened, because they don't have a system to make money. They're hustling and grinding themselves and their relationships into the ground, because their expectations around being a full-time content creator were not the reality. So Nicole and anybody else, my answer is, if you're about to hit 1,000 subscribers, first of all, focus on the monetization requirements and getting that hurdle cleared, just because it opens up new opportunities for your channel. The next thing I would do is focus on trying to build as many of your subscribers into true and loyal fans that will financially support the content in some way. And so I think one of the hurdles on that is getting to 10,000 subscribers. And so that opens up a lot of opportunities as well. And that means that the opportunity for paid brand deals, it's easier to negotiate. You have more leverage. People are less likely to try to ask you to do things for free, and you'll be more savvy, and you're less likely to be taken advantage of. I think that people try to do certain things too early, and they get taken advantage of. I got taken advantage of as a small YouTuber. I don't want anybody else to try to jump the gun on things or try to listen to promises or take shortcuts. The answer is knowledge, whether it's the free knowledge you get in these streams or on recorded content, or if you go to events like Vid Summit, or if you do specified training and workshops like the thing I offer. The answer is, which I don't even recommend people take that workshop if they don't have 5,000 subscribers. I tell beginner YouTubers, like, look, brand deals is like a minimum 5,000 subscriber thing. You can get them lower. You've talked about it all the time. You can get it with less. My answer to it, though, is I don't think most people know their audience well enough and don't have enough experience as a creator to where I'm more worried that they'll get taken advantage of if they have less than that.
Yep. All right. So we got a super chat from the Ingram Experience. It says 5 weeks in with content creation, 242 subscribers. How would you recommend building to monetize level rapidly if time is not an issue? Retire PO.
If time's not an issue, I'm not worried about rapidly. I'm more worried if time's not an issue, I'd want to get it right. 5 weeks is not a lot of time, and you've already grown rapidly already. I don't think you need to grow more rapidly than that. I think that the focus needs to be on the viewer experience and getting that right and nailing that, and then turning like those 250 people already into such super fans that they go and they recruit for you. I would want to take those 250 people and I'd want to create an experience so good that they become all my free marketing. That's what I would do. I'd want each of those people to know that there's almost a guarantee that they're going to go out and tell 10 people. That's the fastest way I think to grow, is to create an experience so good that those people have to share my content and they bring me 10 people. Like, literally build an army of followers. That's my answer to scaling something like that, because once you know what they want, you can turn those people into customers. So then they'll be true fans. Because I think once anyone has 1,000 ride or die true fans, everything else is possible. Because with 1,000 ride or die true fans, when you know, well, what's worth $100 to them? Well, there's your 6 figures right there. And it's fine because, well, you're creating value for them. Once you know what they value at $1,000, and if they have that $1,000, well, that's $1 million. Well, what then? You see, I don't believe there's no problem with being an ethical millionaire or billionaire. My answer to it is really simple. Well, how many people do you have that love what you do enough to show that support with their wallet? Because once that becomes millions of people that will show their support with their wallet, the sky's the limit. So it's like, I believe that content creators will produce the next class of billionaires, Viper. I believe that the number of billionaires in America will triple, if not quadruple, if not 10x in our lifetime. Because the answer is, I believe that there'll be an entire generation that has figured out that if they can give 1 million people what they want, the sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and not everybody's going to do it. And that's fine. Not everyone's got the talent. Not everyone's got the ambition. Not everyone's got the hustle. That's fine. But I think there's also an entire generation that's going to realize that they can make $30, $40, $50,000 a year and not work at McDonald's. So that's going to be really interesting in terms of the shift in power to the individual. The creator economy is going to give power to an individual in a way that's never existed at scale. At scale. So like if you're retired and time's not an issue, then you have the opportunity to scale both quality, quantity, and value. You can scale the value to each viewer at a higher level, the quality of each video at a higher level, and you can do that more consistently and do more quantity probably than other people in your niche. So that's what I would do. That's my answer.
So let's take a sidebar real quick, because we are talking about tonight how to make YouTube your full-time job, or how to become a full-time content creator. And one thing kept coming up over and over tonight, and that is knowing your audience and building a community. Roberto alluded to it earlier. If you can establish such a bond with your audience and your community that they will actually go out and recruit for you, and it just doesn't happen. It definitely happens. That is a huge advantage to any creator when they have the community that is so hardcore for them that the community will literally go out and advocate on that creator's behalf. And if we're talking about doing it full time and building a business, I mean, how powerful is that? Having an army of people that will go out of their way to make sure that they advocate on your behalf to all the different brands out there. A good example of this is Emily Baker. I mean,
Emily D. Baker.
D. Baker. Her crew is called the Law Nerds. And I'm not saying that they go out and advocate on her behalf, but they are a strong community.
Actually, they do. That gets her the biggest interviews that small YouTubers ever gotten.
Oh, yeah, that is true. So yeah, those Law Nerds, they show up wherever she goes, and they are strong, and they have a bond, and that's because she has cultivated that community in such a way where she's tight with them, and they're tight with her, and they rock out. And that's the key. If you can build a strong community that will rock with you and for you. I mean, look at all you all here now. Y'all
they got her onto H3 and Philip DeFranco.
Yep. I mean, look at all you all in here tonight. There are 263 people here tonight because Roberto decided to go go live on his live stream. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Sunday night of all things, right?
Sunday night, right. That's what it's all about. Building that community, man. It's important.
Yeah. Top 10 den. So my question is, my intro just too epic, or do I need a swick kip in the creative butt? Preach, brethren. Don't want to waste that work. If you're talking about your intro to your YouTube videos, I would say that just getting into the content as quickly as possible is the best thing for most people, to be very real with you.
Yep.
No Chill Dill. I make music and music videos, live stream reactions for independent artists, but I'm also a comic book podcast skit show. I make a second channel. Yes. Like, would you open up a comic book shop that then was also like a music store? And would you try to do both? And if you would, and would you tell the 20 people that you love the most in the world to empty out their retirement accounts, their bank savings, and invest in you having a hybrid music store, comic book shop? If the answer is no, then make two channels. I'm trying to help y'all and remind y'all that if you want to do this and it's not if it's a hobby, like No Chill Dill, if it's a hobby and you don't care about making money on it, you can do anything you want. You can literally do anything you want, and people will support it if they want to support it. But if you're going to take it seriously as a business, my answer to any and all of y'all is, from a business standpoint, before you decide to throw everything but the kitchen sink at a YouTube channel, ask yourself if you would open up a physical store that does all of those things, and then ask the 20 people in your life to empty their life savings, empty their retirement accounts, and invest in your business. And if the answer is no, then I would rethink the strategy.
I got nothing. I don't get it.
Like, that's my real harsh truth about building a creative business is you have to know who the audience is. It has to be a specific group of people, and you just got to remind yourself that the reality is that it's easier to build a hardware store than it is to build the next Walmart. You're not going to build the everything store. Like, I hate to be that guy, but you're not going to build the everything store. You're not going to build Amazon. Like, in all likelihood, you might, if you're a diamond in the rough, you're a diamond in the rough, but you better know that, and you better be willing to literally die on that hill. You better be willing to risk it all, because even Bezos, the guy who built the everything store, said straight up, there's a 70% chance I fail and fall flat on my face. And the thing is, in the 90s, there was a point where Amazon lost 90% of its value overnight. There was a point where he did fail and fall flat on his face and think, oh my God, I think I just lost everyone's money. Like, so, I mean, I hate to break it to you, but you gotta really be thoughtful, and you gotta be focused, and you gotta be intentional about what you're doing. And it's very hard to be good at something when you're pulling yourself in 5 or 10 directions, or even 2 or 3. A lot of you need to become more single task people, because a lot of you are not getting anywhere multitasking. A lot of you need to focus.
Yep. Switch Corner, since I've been growing my channel for a while, most recently launched PX Corner and Xbox Corner. How would you attack Twitter Insta, combined or separate?
I would combine them separate, because you're in the franchise game, my friend. Now you're in the franchise game now. By the way, you can, if you want, as an aggregate though, and here's another channel for you to launch, Console Corner.
Okay, you lost me. You said combine them separately. What does that even mean?
No, his thing in my mind is, I feel like he has a franchise. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I feel like he has a media company in the way that, like, Disney owns Marvel, Star Wars, and Disney. So you have different handles for each of these things.
So what you're saying is they separate them?
Yes, but then there's another brand he should launch called Console Corner.
Okay.
That's now an aggregate, because he can also now tackle some less popular consoles, for example. Like, in addition to being able to cover anyone on that, you can also cover things like the Steam Deck or anything else that comes out that becomes like a second tier console platform. See what I'm getting at? See what I'm getting at? And then with Console Corner, he could even talk about retro consoles and stuff like that, and that secondary market. So there's another opportunity with Console Corner, because he's got Switch Corner to work. He's got PS Corner. I've seen this stuff. Like, he's gotten these to work. So I would make unique Instagram, Twitter for each of these, because these are individual media properties in the same way that Disney and Marvel and Star Wars are individual media properties, because you have franchises now.
Right.
So that's how I would, yeah.
So let me put this into perspective for some of y'all when he says you need to focus, right? So think about when you walk into a Starbucks. When you walk into a Starbucks, yes, they sell pastries and other things that is non-coffee, but chances are when you walk into a Starbucks, you are walking into a Starbucks for coffee. Starbucks got big as they are today because they made some of the best coffee out there. And then after they got known for their coffee, they were gradually able to branch out into different things. But chances are still today, when you walk to Starbucks, you're walking in there for coffee. Same with Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts, one of the biggest franchises. If you're walking into a Dunkin' Donuts today, you're walking in there for a donut. Now, they do have breakfast food, and they have some of them have Baskin Robbins in there now, and different things like that. But chances are, when you walk into a Dunkin' Donuts, you're walking in there for a donut. So you should think about these in relation to how you are building your YouTube channel. Yeah, I mean, you can put different types of content on there, but you're not going to really grow if you don't become known for something people expect from you, because that's all about expectations and habits. We as humans are creatures of habit. So if you try to go all over the place with your content, you're not going to build a strong trust with your audience, because they can't predict what you're going to do. And if you become too unpredictable, people don't like that. So this is why we are telling you guys, you got to focus and become known for something. And then maybe when you become known for
you can evolve. Then you can evolve over time, and you'll know, and the data will also tell you what lanes that looks like and what branches of the tree that looks like. I mean, the thing that Starbucks and Dunkin' are known for, they spend 80% of their time on that, and only 20% on everything else. That's the key. And that's what drives the business. And for those of you who that feels stifling, make a TikTok and make random content. For real. You want to express yourself? Make a TikTok. It's the most liberating platform there is. Make a TikTok. Do you want people to be invested in you personally? Make an Instagram that's your personal brand and not a duplicate of the content on your YouTube channel. But also don't be upset that your ride or die followers is only 1,000 people or whatever that are invested in you and your life and what you ate today and what you like and you playing with your kids or your dog or like for real. Don't be upset. Like, and be real honest with yourself, because it has nothing to do with how they're going to spend that 5 or 10 or 15 minutes of their life. And as for like getting your 1K subs, it's going to be different for everybody because it's different niches, different personalities, different styles, different amount of uploads. There's no timetable as far as it takes 5 months, 6 months, or whatever. It's more likely that it takes X amount of uploads. And that has a lot to do with the uploads, with what they were.
Yep.
Sister Crystal Show, you're so right about people needing to focus. I've not been successful at juggling multiple platforms at all. For a lot of people, the multi-platform thing is something you do later, or even you outsource it to a company like Jelly Smack, or you hire people to do that, or you automate it in some way. But I don't believe in trying to do a bunch of it at once. I mean, the most practical version of doing it at once is, because Instagram doesn't have to take over your life, because it's actually a fast platform to make content with. You can make your YouTube channel and put like 80% of your effort to that, and then take 20% of your effort and just do Instagram, and then follow up with your people on Twitter if you need to let them know what's going on. And if you also want to be listening in the Twitter space, because you don't have to be on Twitter all the time, but it doesn't have to take, you could really ration your Twitter time and you'd be all right. And that'd actually be a good idea. But like Instagram and Twitter don't have to be time absorbing platforms. And with the 80-20 principle, you can spend 80% of your energy and time creatively on YouTube, and then use Twitter to interact and engage with your community on the regular. And that's not going to take a ton of your energy. It doesn't have to, unless you're following people who bring you down. And then with Insta, if you want to take a selfie, you want to do a quick story for a couple of seconds and share your life, it doesn't have to take up that much time. So, I mean, I feel that that's about as close to, and the thing is, you're not really multitasking at that point. You are focusing on just getting a YouTube out once a week. And then maybe when you have time during the day, you're updating your Instagram stories. And then maybe when you're chilling, you're scrolling Twitter a little bit because you're going to scroll the internet anyway. You might as well interact with your followers with that time instead of watch random videos. I would take my, I'm consuming and watching YouTube time, and I would turn that into my time for Instagram and Twitter. So I'm not even adding things to my plate. I'm changing the menu.
Boom. All right, Roberto, how you going to handle this one?
I will. Like, what's up? Just read it out for me.
I didn't say yeah, I said how. She said, appreciate the simple, Roberto. How do I get a critique on my channel overview? Thumbnail, Jeff want a first impression. Do I book a one-to-one session? How do you?
So if you go to awesomecreatoracademy.com, I do offer one-on-one coaching for YouTubers. Again, I recommend your channel at least be monetized if I'm going to review your channel. So that is an option. We are not doing like super chat based channel reviews today. So that, and the thing is, to be honest, 30 minutes with me, if you book a 30-minute call or a 90-minute call, that's usually more helpful for people, because then they're getting specific advice. I'm not beholden to trying to also keep the live stream running. I'm more focused. You're more focused. We've had time to prepare, ask questions. So there's a lot that I think is valuable in booking a one-on-one. So you can do that, awesomecreatoracademy.com. But I was going to just give you a quick, aside from maybe like, I would say, first of all, change your profile picture to a much bigger close-up of your face. And then your thumbnails are not completely terrible, but I will say they can be better, and a lot of it is just not readable. Is your biggest problem, is that text is not readable, and that the images are not always probably the most interesting part of the video. So you could probably work on that. You have some videos that have done really well. Ironically, I think that the titles had more to do with it. I think the thumbnails hurt them. So I think that there's room for improvement, but your most popular videos show what's possible on your channel because you have a few videos with over 10,000 views and you have 5,000 subscribers. So that means that every video you have, as long as the topic is on point, probably could have 2,000 to 5,000 views. But your titles might be undermining your content. It's not your titles, your thumbnails. Your thumbnails are probably undermining your content. So that's my thought.
There we go.
Dan K says, I have a lucrative job and I enjoy it. I see YouTube being good for building a personal brand. I don't want or need to sell anything. Thoughts on approach to YouTube? Then focus purely on growing the audience. Focus 100% on growing the audience. However, if you can monetize your channel with ads, monetize it with ads just so that YouTube doesn't throw ads on there where they want to put them. Because I will tell y'all right now, y'all need to be watching my how to get 1,000 subscribers video and how to get 4,000 hours of watch time video. You need to be watching those videos, and I'll tell you why. YouTube is putting ads on non-monetized creators' videos, and they've been doing that since late last year, and they announced that a while back, and I covered it, and all year creators have been complaining about it and watching my 2 videos about it and complaining, and I told people it was going to happen, and I told them why. The short version is no, YouTube is not trying to take advantage of small creators. I already told you it's not worth that much money. It's largely to do with a policy for when they have to demonetize big creators and not lose money. So that's the truth. That's the harsh truth of it, is that when they need to demonetize someone because of cancel culture, they want to stop losing millions of dollars. So so they need a policy that says that they can monetize all content no matter what. So they did. And if you're a small creator, the bad side is they can put ads on your videos where they want, when they want, and you don't have control and you don't get paid. So you might as well meet the requirements and hustle and meet the requirements. And then you get to decide whether ads are on your content or not. You get paid for them if they are, and you can decide where those ads show up. So rather than complain about it, since we're all getting free hosting, I would hustle and I would meet those monetization requirements. And if you feel overwhelmed on how to do that, watch my video on getting 1,000 subscribers and watch my video on getting 4,000 hours, my 2 videos on getting 4,000 hours of watch time. So that's a big one.
You heard,
Dan,
man.
He focus on
watch
what's up? Content. Yeah, but Dan, focus on growing the audience.
I mean, that's the best situation to be in because you're not trying to sell anything, and people don't like to be told to. So if you can just create content with the sole purpose of growing an audience and not trying to sell anything, oh, you end up a driver's seat right there, bro.
I don't think people said Apple would disagree with people not wanting to be sold to.
Generally on YouTube, Roberto, people want to be told to.
People keep saying that, but the people who want to buy stuff actually don't mind.
Well, obviously, but I'm just saying in general.
Dude, I watched a bunch of those tech YouTube videos. I went and I bought 2 of the Sony A7 IVs. Those are $2,500 cameras. And again, it doesn't matter if the majority, when it comes to selling, here's another thing for y'all. This is one of the things where me and Viper might beg to differ. Friendly disagreement here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care that 99% of people don't want to buy something on the internet. First of all, I don't believe that because e-commerce exists. First of all, I don't believe that. Number 2, even if that's the case, if the 1% of those people are ride or die and have the pockets to support you, then that's what I care about, because 1% of your audience might financially support you more than the other 99% combined that don't want to buy anything and are going to support you with their eyeballs. Cool, they're supporting you with your eyeballs. But the 1% of people that rock with you might generate more direct revenue by buying something than all of those passive viewers who only generated a small sliver of ad revenue that YouTube took 45% of. So I say that if you have 1% of your audience, and that 1% of your audience, look, it's 1% of y'all probably that signed up for TubeBuddy and then ended up paying for it, that generates enough affiliate revenue that literally, passively, without me hustling, pays all of my bills. All of my bills. 1% of y'all put me in a position to where I do not have to bust my tail thinking about how am I going to pay rent. 1% of y'all did that for me. 1% of y'all generated enough direct sales revenue to literally be the down payment on my house that makes me a homeowner, that gave me the American dream. 1% of your audience is enough to change your entire life if they will buy something from you or a brand or affiliate or whatever. 1% of your audience. That's all it takes.
Deborah, I'm pretty sure Catherine Manning does have a course. I think she has a few courses, if I'm not mistaken.
Catherine Manning has products. And I said sell something. I didn't say sell a course. You didn't hear the word course come out my mouth.
Right, but I'm just answering the chat, though.
I hear you. I'm just saying, like, I didn't like the word because people are really hard up about the course selling thing. It's like, it didn't, like, first of all, course didn't come out my mouth. There are things that make money that aren't courses.
Right.
Products are not always courses.
The reason why I say that people don't like to be sold to, because we know how many complaints we get about sponsored content on YouTube, and people.
But I love that by the way, I love that Deborah said she wishes Catherine Manning had a course.
Mm-hmm.
Deborah happily will pay Catherine Manning. Deborah, how much? Like, would you if Catherine Manning had a $299 course today, would you buy it? But yeah, I hear you, Viper. The vocal minority of people scream, "I don't want to be sold to." And yet Peter McKinnon, literally, I think his Kickstarter did over 3 million when he raised a Kickstarter with Nomadic to do his camera bag. And I think that was like 6 people supporting it. So sorry, why did I say 6 people? I meant 6,000 people. Peter McKinnon has an audience of like 5 million people. Literally 1% of his audience generated over 4 million, I think, in revenue. That 1%.
So we got somebody that will buy a course, but they didn't say how much, though.
Like, yeah, Deborah, if Catherine Manning had a course for $299, would you get it? Because, like, here's the thing. I've had people straight up tell me that they wish I had a course. Reading is freedom, 999 super chat. Thank you, brothers. My channel is 777 subs. Oh, that's a good number. Should I start doing live read alouds once in a while to help grow the channel? I upload once a week or a week and a half. I would keep doing what's growing the channel now. And I might wait on those lives until after you're monetized so that people who enjoy them can give you super chats like these. Viper?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you can hold off until you can actually make money on your live, that's the way to go. Get the bag, man. Get the bag.
Yeah. Also, again, I wouldn't interrupt your growth pattern right now since you're so close to monetization. Now, you can do lives if you need to make up watch time, then I might do that. So, like, that's different. So that's my thought on that. Like, let's see. I have 1,800 subs, but I get around 300 views. Is this normal?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also down to niche. It's down to niche. It's also down to what's normal for you. Funny you mentioned Console Corner. That's the Twitch handle I picked up and the web address just in case. That's great.
Roberto, like, yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Y'all, maybe some of y'all weren't here earlier. Whatever. When we were talking about that previous comment, I forgot what it was, but damn, what's the previous comment you just highlighted? Damn, crap, had it and I lost it.
I have a bunch of them here. What's up?
No, I forgot the previous comment you were talking about, and
was it the one about coaching, or was it live streams, or how to book a one-on-one?
No, it was not. I think it was right after the live stream comment. Damn it, I missed it. Ooh.
Courses?
No, not the course and stuff. It was something that we had talked about earlier that I wanted to re-highlight, but it'll come back to me, I guess.
Okay, there was a super chat I think I missed from Top 10 Den. I'm trying to scroll up and find it. I have it in my back end dashboard here. He says, great fireside chat, gentlemen. I think I knocked it out of the park with my custom intro. I hired a Mexican tenor off Fiverr to sing the name of the channel, but since pulling it off, been drifting. I mean, if you like your intro, keep your intro, man. But I think for not losing people in the early part of your channel, then I think that helps with performance. But if it sounds like you're personally very attached to and like your intro and think that it's really dope. So if you like it, keep it. If you're really emotionally attached to something, yet it's not working, then you have to decide if you love the thing you love more than you love the success you think you might get. So that's where I would go with it.
Okay, I remember what I was going to talk about now. Somebody was talking about the sub to view ratio, and we talked about that earlier. Your sub to view ratio, it means nothing because YouTube doesn't even notify all the subscribers that you have on your channel. So if you have 10,000 subs and you're getting 1 to 300 views a video, that sounds about right for YouTube because
PewDiePie has 1 million subscribers. He hasn't gotten 5 million in a couple of uploads and like a couple dozen uploads. And I'm not saying that they hate on PewDiePie. I love PewDiePie, but like if the biggest YouTuber can't break 5%, then you need to stop beating yourself up about it.
Yep.
Like for real, if the biggest YouTuber can't get 5% of the views for their subscriber count, the biggest YouTuber, and he's like a daily content creator, why are you beating yourself up about it as a small YouTuber? What, because a few other people are getting bigger numbers or getting a higher ratio? It's like, you're not them. But I'm going to tell you, if the top dog can't even pull like 10% anymore, then what expectations do you have as a rookie of getting that number? Why? Why make it a big deal? I look at, to be real with y'all, I don't look at it. I don't care. One, I know not every topic will get the same thing. I've had videos get 250,000 views and the next video after that get 8,000 views. Seriously. You can even see it on my own channel. It's like, well, that makes no sense. It's like, well, it makes perfect sense when you think like a fan. Fan doesn't want to watch every video just because you're in it.
Yep. True story.
Like for real, even if they're a fan of yours, they don't want to watch every video just because you're in it. I guarantee you, y'all are probably some of my most hardcore fans. You haven't watched every one of the videos that I've uploaded in the last 10 videos. And y'all are the closest hardcore ride or die like people because y'all are still here after 2 hours. So if that's the case, then I'm telling you this. I'm not trying to be smug. I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to help you. I'm not trying to be smug. I'm trying to help you and make you realize that you are putting too much pressure on yourself to perform. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem is that you're putting too much pressure on yourself and you have these expectations and you're looking at other people and you're judging yourself off of things you have no business judging yourself on. How do you know when you're improving with your videos thumbnails? Well, for one thing, you usually know. Just like everybody who's ever sketched or drawn or doodled usually knows when it's less crappy. So there's that. You'll also know when you're getting compliments on your thumbnails. There's that.
Yep.
And you'll usually know when your impression to click-through rate is higher in your analytics.
There you go.
Because also making a good looking thumbnail is not the same thing as making an effective thumbnail. My thumbnails usually look really good. That doesn't mean they're effective.
Yeah, you'll know.
Just changing a title or thumbnail, I've literally like 3x or 5x the views on a video. You know, like it can make that much of a difference. Title and thumbnail alone can make a difference of 3x to 5x the views. Sometimes more. But again, we keep getting sidetracked into this views and subscribers thing, man. I'm literally trying to talk to people about how to make money. And like, we're back to views and subs. I've already made videos about getting subscribers, which seems to be y'all's biggest thing. I've literally made that video.
Because
so
they
many
don't
times.
understand that it all correlates. They just think about it so narrow-mindedly, but they don't realize that it all correlates. Like the way that we're telling you to like to make money kind of helps you get more views, get more subscribers. If y'all paying close attention to what we're talking about tonight, y'all figure it out. It all comes together.
Right, sure, Lisa. I haven't been getting your notifications. See, you don't even get the notifications. Like, see, like you're worried about subscribers. They're not even getting notified. Subscribers aren't even getting notified of your videos. Not like Lisa's. Not even tonight. This is also why I have Twitter to update people and get people. Because, like, again, I can't trust that.
Right.
Like
Twitter is life, baby. Twitter is life.
On the Pewds thing, asking or out of not knowing, do you think he is trying to get views or trying not to get? It feels like he just wants to have fun. He started YouTube just trying to get to have fun. He was trying to have fun when he was at his peak too. There's a matter of, I mean, I get it. You could say he's not trying his hardest. I don't think he's trying his hardest, but he has the opportunity. And the thing is, well, like I even 10 or 20% harder would get double or triple the views. But I mean, the content and the titles and the thumbnails, you can say he's not trying, but if he's uploading, he's trying. You know, if he's uploading and he's taking the time to make a video, he's trying. And the quality of his videos is better now than when he was getting 20 times more views and 10 times more views or whatever. So again, I'm not hating on him or in any way, shape, or form, quite the opposite. But I'm saying, like, okay, cool. If you can phone in a video and like, if you're saying he's phoning it in, which I'm not saying, and I don't think you're saying, but let's say if that's what it was, if you can phone in a video and get 1 to 4 million views, that's still more than I get when I try. So fine. Like I'm good with that. That's fine. But I'm saying that if somebody with 100,000 subscribers trying or not trying is still not getting 5% of the views of their audience, then it shows you that popularity doesn't do it. You yourself are communicating that effort would be required. And the thing is, even if he makes the effort, do we know what the result will be? And can we guarantee it? And so it still leaves the question up there. Why do you all think that view and subscriber ratios matter when clearly it doesn't even play out for the biggest people on this platform? I just used PewDiePie as an example. We could use a different one. Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk, I don't think has ever legitimately really been trying to grow YouTube in the entire time he's done it. Not really, not the way he tries to grow businesses. The content is just as good as it's always been. He's got 3 million subscribers. Their uploads that are getting the same kind of views he got when he had 300,000 subscribers. There are uploads where he gets the same views that I get, aside from YouTube Shorts, which then go viral almost every other time for him. So again, view to subscriber ratios don't matter. Why is it small YouTubers who don't have audiences are doing YouTube Shorts and going viral? Because view to subscriber ratios don't matter.
I mean, we could talk about my man Marquette Brownlee. I mean, he has 14 million subscribers and he gets 3 to 5 million views per video.
Yeah,
he doesn't get all 14 million views
because it doesn't work that way.
Exactly. Yep.
The last time it worked like that was like pre-2010.
We're a long way from Kansas.
Yeah. Like, you just got to put YouTube into perspective. And again, like, subscribers do not matter the way you all think they do. At best, they work very well in terms of the, like, attention that you might get from a brand or from, like, the media or whatever. But it doesn't translate into the attention you actually get from a view standpoint, because that's algorithmically driven by viewer and audience interest in content or by audience loyalty. And just having a bunch of subscribers is not the same thing as having a bunch of people who are loyal. Not all the time anyway, not normal, like, you know.
You also have to remember that
really weird thing.
It only takes somebody one button press to subscribe to your channel, and they might have just forgot to subscribe to your channel too. So there's a lot of that going on as well.
Or if you're subscribed to too many channels, you won't get the content.
Yep. There you go.
Like, there's a thing with that. I've seen the difference of, like, on one of my alt accounts where I'm only subscribed. On my alt accounts where I'm only subscribed to like 10 people, I get their content.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Elite Landscapes Views says to make money, it starts with views, correct? It starts with traffic. It starts with traffic. That's why someone with 10,000 subscribers can make more money than somebody with 100,000 subscribers. If that person with 10,000 subscribers has a real estate business, because it starts with traffic. It starts with traffic. And then also, even if someone has a bunch of views, those views, being tied to ad revenue? Revenue is variable, even if you're allowed to have it. What if your videos are demonetized? Somebody who has a business tied to their reputation that they're scaling with views are just a means to an end. They are a tool, but a lot of you are making them a goal. Views are supposed to be a tool. Y'all out here making them a goal. It's about traffic, trust, and transaction. The money triangle is traffic, trust, and transaction. Even 101 retail, you need people to be in the store. Then you need to build rapport and trust, and then that leads them doing a transaction before they leave the store. But that ain't not gonna happen if they're not in the store. But YouTube is, again, should be a means to an end. A lot of y'all are bringing people to YouTube. You're bringing them to the platform. You're helping out Mama Google, but you ain't got your own crib. They're in Google's house, not yours.
Mm-hmm.
What now? Where's your ownership of the relationship? Where's your ownership of the relationship? You ain't got nobody. You ain't got nowhere to take them back to. You don't own that relationship. Google decides to cut off that relationship. What do you have?
Rough out here, y'all. Rough out here.
Like YouTube kicks you out. Where's your home now? Think about that. I've always used YouTube and Google for their traffic. Even from back in the day when I had my blog as my priority, it's always been about the traffic so that I could build the trust of the relationship myself. And so I can own a transaction at some point down the line, long-term relationship. I want a business that I own. I don't want Google and YouTube to own my business. I want a business that I own. That's what being a full-time creator is really like.
And if y'all think he's joking, think about what happened to Facebook and Instagram a week or two ago.
Facts. Facts.
If your business was totally based on Facebook and Instagram 2 weeks ago, you were not having a good day.
Yep.
Diversification.
And that's the people who, again, that's assuming these platforms don't cut you off. You know, like, for real. Like, that's a concern.
Yeah. I almost like every month now I see a tweet about somebody who somehow they got their YouTube channel like taken away or something like that, or they got hacked or something.
It was probably a hack. We had that happen to our friend John Prosser. His AdSense revenue was tied up for 2 months. I want you all to imagine a situation where you have to go 2 months without getting your money. 2 months where your primary source of income is tied up and it's because of hackers. And 2 months where you have anxiety, where you don't know when or if it's going to be resolved or fixed. Yeah, that happened to a good friend of ours. I know a content creator. She got her stuff hacked. She got fleeced for $35,000 because they got her AdSense and they rerouted where the checks went. They rerouted the direct deposit. She got fleeced for $35,000. Imagine right now losing $35,000.
That's rough.
Yeah. And 3 months of anxiety for YouTube and Google to fix it.
And this is why for the last 2.5 hours, we have been telling y'all about diversifying your platforms and your income streams and things that you need to be doing and should be doing to become a full-time content creator, because it's bigger than just YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform that you choose to make your main platform. Being a full-time creator is bigger than any one platform. So you need to figure this out, because you don't want your money tied up in one platform, because that's the road to nowhere.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap up here in a little bit. Thank you, everybody. Coffee Talk and Tech says, how does YouTube decide your CPM?
Gimmick infringement.
Coffee Talk. Oh, Coffee Talk. Yeah, Coffee Talk and Tech. Gimmick infringement. I love it. That should be like an audio file we have. Gimmick infringement. But actually, there we go. But yeah, how does YouTube decide your CPM per video? How do you get a higher CPM? It's determined by the advertising, actually. So YouTube is just processing that. YouTube's not making a lot of decisions the way y'all think they do. YouTube is responding to data and doing data sorting. It's not like formally sitting there where somebody's making a decision individually about your content. Even to some extent, that's a very junior way of explaining the algorithm to the uninitiated. The CPMs are determined by variables in the advertising market. A primary example is the fact that in quarter four, in the last quarter of the year, ad rates tend to go up because budgets don't renew until January. And when budgets are renewing, that's why we have the January slump. You have a really good November and December, and they have a very crappy January in terms of ad revenue. That's the norm for most people for that reason. And that has nothing to do with YouTube. That has to do with the advertising industry, an industry I've been a part of for a very long time now. I've worked in advertising at an ad agency. I worked as a marketer at a company, and then I went into consulting with brands. I run ads for my own businesses, so I'm an ad buyer as well. I've helped my clients sort through their advertising issues, helped brands and companies make their ads, starred in a couple of them. So I've been in advertising for a good long while here. Most of my adult life has been in the advertising industry. And so what I will say is that happens outside of YouTube, and YouTube and Google just respond to it like everyone else. Because I mean, it's the Google ad network. It's all run through that. And a lot of that is just based on the advertiser. I mean, think about it. Even the advertiser boycotts, that wasn't YouTube making a decision. So just, understand that. Higher CPMs, it comes down to the content literally in the video and the topic literally in the video, ad placement, all number of variables. I made a video about higher CPMs if you really want to know, but it's mostly down to the content. So let's see. I'm trying to find, I think there was like 2 super chats I missed. I'm trying to find them.
Do a little quick scroll up.
Dan says, thank you for answering my questions. Not a problem. Deborah says, I got behind the stream, but yes, I buy courses. I recently took Matt Diavella's course, which helped me get to 1K. I work, so courses save me time. Yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense, especially if you are someone who works full time. People can go, I can get the free content. It's like, but hunting it down may not be worth the time. The money saves you the time. So if you're a working person or you have kids, it might. There are courses that I've taken that have been really helpful. Pat Flynn, for example. Also, Michael Port, Heroic Public Speaking, really helped me with structuring my speaking career. I bought it not even for the full course. I only bought it for 20% of the course buy price, paid the full price. There's only 20% I was looking for. And that was how to get more speaking engagements and how to book myself as a speaker. So that's why I took his course. But I took his course because I liked his book, Book Yourself Solid. His book, Book Yourself Solid, helped me with my consulting business and with my freelancing and helped me get more clients. So when he had a public speaking course, he was the guy I went to.
Okay.
Selena says, do you think that creating an animated character, thinking in the future, could be for sales is something that works? It depends on your niche, and it depends if people like that, and it depends on what it is. So I think it could. Nature's Companion says, I made 3 animation videos this year, managed to grow my channel from 15 to 35K this year. The best tip I got from Roberto is focus on proving my quality, and the rest will follow. Yeah, in your niche and for your your thing is, quality. Yeah, there's different niches where quality works more and quantity makes more. I mean, it's just how it is. Baron says, advice to make it in a full-time YouTuber in a third world country. Look, dude, to be very real with you, since I don't live in a third world country, it's very hard for me to say what would allow you to make it in a third world country. My advice would be to get a Western first world country audience, if you could do that, by making content that appeals to the Western market and speaking it in English. Failing that, finding a way to get over here, that's definitely something that might help. But I don't live there and I don't know the context. So I can't give you the best advice in the world on that beyond what I just said, which is ad revenue wise, if you can make English speaking content that appeals to a Western audience, that's probably a very good thing that could happen for you, or coming to the first world in some way. it might be easier for you to get to UK or Canada than America, especially the way things are now. So it's something you just have to think about.
Yep. All right, Roberto, I think it's time to start landing the plane, sir.
Yep, let's look at doing that here. I'm also losing my voice now, so Type 1 Talks. Type 1 Talks and I did a one-on-one coaching session, actually.
You mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, so that's good.
Hey, shout out to the 229 of you all that are still here. Appreciate you guys hanging out all night tonight. Thank you.
What do we think of Buy Me a Coffee? Viper is a big advocate of Buy Me a Coffee.
Yo, when you're first starting out and you're not like monetized yet and you want to make a little change, Buy Me a Coffee is it. They're legit. Definitely a good way to make money if you're a small creator who's not monetized yet.
Yeah. Reasonable expectations all the way, no matter what you're doing. And yeah, no matter what, investing in your own website, no matter what. Yes, absolutely.
Some of y'all understand the assignment tonight. Some of y'all need a little work.
Yep. Diversify platforms, be platform agnostic. Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely.
Actually, you know what? No, we're not done yet because I gotta go. I need to go on a tangent real quick.
Go for it, Viper.
All right, man. Oh boy. So we have a special event going on in the tech space right now. Google recently announced their Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, and they have something called Team Pixel, which is a group of creators that they actually send the phone out to for early access. Now, I've seen a bunch of creators complaining about not being a Team Pixel and different things like that. And what they're doing is that since Best Buy had these phones on display right now before they're actually out to the public this week, they're going to Best Buy and shooting reviews and things like that. I don't have a problem with this. Hey,
I don't have a problem with it. They're not breaking an embargo.
No, they're not part of embargo. So they can do that. The only thing I would say is that you can do that, and I don't have a problem with you doing that. But I just said earlier, and I tell you guys all the time, you're being watched. So even though I don't have a problem with it, Google might have a problem with it when it comes to maybe determining who can be a Team Pixel in the future. So maybe be aware of that. But hey, get your hustle on. I respect the hustle, man.
It depends, because the thing is, if I'm Team Google, I actually might respect that. And I might be like, I'm going to send you a phone because you didn't even have it and you got more views because you had a better connection with the audience. It depends on what is going on and who's in the marketing. Because some people are also really strict and some people also, there may be egos involved. It depends.
Yeah.
But I have a good relationship with a lot of people at Google, and it just depends on who it is. And I would say that I think a lot of them would respect a content creator for going out and do that more than be mad. And that's just how I feel about it. I
tend to agree a little bit, but again, you do have to be careful because obviously they have people who sign embargo for a reason. So if the embargo is out there, I mean, it's not out there just to be out there. It's out there because they don't want people talking about the phone. So be careful. But here's my thing.
Well, that's their influencers that they have a contractual relationship with versus if somebody that's not even on their radar outcompetes the people that they decide to work with, that gets attention though.
I mean, but how can you call it out competing when they're contractually not allowed to do the thing that the other people are doing who are not under contract?
So it depends on whether you believe that they only got the attention by being early. Because what about all the people that they beat who were early too, right? So I'm talking about the people, the person or the group of people that out of all those people who were early made the best video, that got the best response, and competed with, yes, even the people who got it early because of the relationship, but had the embargo situation.
Right.
Because the authenticity of the other person that's not under embargo might really not only shine through and compete with those other bigger creators, but just remember, it competed with everybody else who just went to the store. So it's the best out of the people who went to the store. Because again, just because some people went early and they thought that they were going to go viral, and it didn't happen because they didn't really make that great of a video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So being early didn't help them.
Right.
There were people waiting on the influencers that were under embargo. But if somebody was good enough to hustle, then that person might get to be part of it next time because they made the best content even out of those people. See what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Okay. So my rant is not really about people that went to Best Buy. Like I said, hey, if you went to Best Buy and you did that, more power to you. That's also, I respect that. But the people complaining on social media about not getting the phone.
Oh, that bothers me.
No, that I've said over and over again, that is not how you go about doing business. Like, just because you don't get chosen for a certain campaign or whatever, going about complaining and crying and whining on social media, how that does not look good. Like, I don't know. Just here's the thing. I think people take stuff too personally sometimes. Most of this is a business decision, okay? Now, we don't know how they choose, whoever they choose for Team Pixel. We don't know how they choose. There's no like guideline for that. We don't know. But if a brand doesn't choose you for a certain campaign, complaining about it on social media is not a good look. A lot of times,
it's the way to guarantee they'll never choose you.
Exactly right. Because a lot of times it's just a business decision, and you can't really get mad over a business decision. And then here's the thing. Here's the thing. Just because you didn't get chosen for this opportunity does not mean that the brand might not consider you for future opportunity. But you quickly burn that bridge or that potential bridge when you go on social media and cry and complain about not being on Team Pixel or not getting a phone. Why are you sabotaging your literal?
It hurts my soul to watch, dude. It hurts my soul to watch people literally
stop it,
burning bridges,
man.
Throwing a tantrum like a child is not like.
No,
I mean, for real.
I told y'all hours ago, you're being watched. You are being watched. And these brands are watching as you melt down about not being a part of Team Pixel. They're watching you.
Look, authenticity is not saying every damn fool thing that comes into your head. And authenticity is not sitting out there using your social media platforms as a substitute for therapy.
One way to put it. But
for real, Twitter is not for you a place, not typically speaking. And in most cases, like, keep the venting to a minimum, y'all. For real. If you're going to go full time, if you're just like out here to be out here, fine, whatever. But if you're actually taking this seriously, like, do not be out here using social media to vent.
Because as I told you guys earlier, anything that can be used against you will be used against you. Because people
get on your like burner phone and talk to your friends. Go if it's like healthy for you. Go, and it's like, not a raging pandemic or something. Go to the bar, talk to that random bartender that you're never going to see again. Like, but don't go out into social media and literally put your feelings to print to be held against you for the next 5 years.
And it's so crazy to me because every year Apple, recently anyway, every year recently, for the past 3 or 4 years, Apple has sent out early iPhone units to top tech YouTubers, but I never seen much complaining about that online. But for whatever reason, because of the Team Pixel stuff, I don't know, because smaller creators are getting access to the phone or whatever the case may be, but there's a lot of complaining.
It's people feeling jealous because they're seeing people with 5 or 15,000 subscribers get something, and that over 100,000 subscribers. Like, I'll be real with you. Sometimes people get a sub count and then they think they're entitled to everything. And then they're shocked or surprised that people with less subs than them are getting somewhere. And it hadn't occurred to them that their reputation and character might have a thing to do with that.
Dude, we are in a reputation business.
I keep saying it.
Or everything.
I keep saying it. This is a reputation-based business. This is a reputation-based industry. And people out here really have these unreasonable expectations and entitlement, so much entitlement. And so it really bothers me. The reality is people think that they're entitled to something because of their popularity, and they don't realize that their popularity isn't a qualifier, but their character might be the disqualifying factor in all of it.
Yep. Y'all need to do better. Y'all need to do better, man.
For real. Your reputation, your behavior, your character counts a lot more in this business than your view and subscriber count. I already done told you at the top of the hour before that most of my opportunities come to me. How do you think that happens? I have a good reputation for being good to work with. I have a good reputation for delivering and advocating for brands, audiences, creators, and that's how I get things done. It's out here, I'm one of the longest surviving YouTube coaches out here. You think I could do that if I didn't keep a good reputation and if I didn't deliver for people? I'm one of the only content creators who can say they have a decade or whatever career. That doesn't happen in this industry. It's very rare. for anybody here to last more than 3 or 5 years, to be very real with you, after they get their initial success. I've been out here. I got to 100,000 subscribers in 2016. So I've been a big YouTuber for a good minute here, and quote unquote big YouTuber, right? So I've been a creator of standing for a long time. It is very hard to do that. It is very hard to, it's a good thing I'm boring as hell. Like it's very, very difficult for people to last in this game. Very difficult. You've seen enough people come and go to know that. So
not easy.
So it's not easy. And the thing is, being relevant is one thing. Keeping a good reputation is another.
Yeah.
And even the biggest YouTubers, you've seen it yourself, the biggest YouTubers haven't exactly had the easiest time keeping a good reputation. So, don't think that size will help you there either.
Oh, I mean, hell, the bigger you get, the harder it is. More people are coming after you. You get bigger, more or less.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess the moral of the story is, man, you need to be careful about how you present yourself on social media. It's not crying and complaining about not working with a brand or a brand not giving you a device and putting that entitlement out into the world. Nobody likes an entitled person. No.
Yeah.
And again, just because you don't get chosen for this campaign doesn't mean that the brand won't consider you for stuff in the future. But if you burn that bridge, then you burn that bridge and there's no going back. So do with that information what you will, y'all.
Dusty, I have a really good last minute business thing because I love this question. What's the best way to monetize a gaming channel where 80% of my content is dependent on a brand I don't own? So I've talked to a lot of gaming creators about this, and the thing is getting your audience to directly support you on things you can make that you do own that just appeal to the culture, instead of having to play directly off of the franchise.
There you go. I think on that note we can leave it.
Oh, there's one last thing.
Okay.
Brock says, don't you tell creators not to hire you until the channel is generating income, but the world is full of coaches that are ready to take money at any time. First of all, I don't really believe that the world is full of coaches ready to take your money at any time. And the thing is, to some extent, we as consumers have a responsibility to really be thoughtful about where we're putting our money. Do you know why, aside from a multi-channel network, I've pretty much almost never been scammed? Aside from in my early YouTube career with a multi-channel network, which was not a YouTube coach thing, that was a network. And largely that was because big YouTubers were promoting networks and we didn't know any better. And we didn't know that some of them were owners in networks back then. And there was a whole lot of other stuff involved in that. But there's a reason I've almost never been scammed in most of my adult life. I don't make decisions from a desperate place, even if I have desperate circumstances. I try to make rational, reasonable decisions as best as I can with my money rather than emotional responses. And I think about the upside and downside of what I'm doing. Now, the thing is, with coaches that you work with one-on-one that are spending time with you, it's actually really hard to get scammed in a one-on-one coaching call, because it's very hard to get in a situation where you're not going to get knowledge from someone you're hiring one-on-one if they have a good reputation. And if you've actually already gotten value from their free content. So if you're buying something from somebody, if you haven't gotten value from their free content, then there's no reason to be buying anything from them. So the thing is, to some extent, I believe that it's the consumer's responsibility on everything. So first of all, most of the coaches I know are legit. So I don't know that there are that many coaches ready to just take people's money at any time. I also don't begrudge people who are telling their consumer that, hey, if you believe you're ready to go, then I believe you and I take you at your word that you're ready to go. What are they supposed to do? Sit there and talk you out of money? That's why they're all millionaires and I'm not. It's what are they supposed to do? Talk you out of money? I'm talking you all largely out of money because, to be very real with you, first of all, I'm trying to help you out a little, but also here's the thing. If you're not monetized, I may not have the patience to hold your hand. So if you think that I'm doing it purely out of the kindness of my heart, I will tell you, I want people to not waste their time and not waste my time. And so I put a disqualifier in who can work with me. And the thing is, over the periods of time, that bar and threshold of who can work with me, the goalpost might move on that, not just for the price. And I'm being real with y'all. I don't want to work with everybody. Some people can and do. I don't want to work with everybody. And I feel that my free content is going to get somebody to a place to where I don't have to hold their hand for everything. And I want people to do the work on their own. And I want people to come to me with an understanding of certain things, because I do not want to hold their hand through the baby steps of content I've already literally given them for free. I want to go into nuance and substance and complicated problems that I don't think they're capable of solving on their own or solving quickly enough to matter. So I really want to save people much more time and frustration. I don't think that coaching with me is going to speed run them to getting 1,000 views, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time, more than the content I've already put out. Now, on top of that, the other issue I have with it is this. Just because you get monetized on YouTube and that's your first stepping stone, the reason I want that is it's also once you get that, you'll start thinking differently. And then you're in a better headspace about this because you're monetized, and it's not a hope anymore, it's a reality. And I can work with you much better when it's a reality instead of a hope or a dream. So like for me, that's my style, but I'm also a much harsher, blunt coach and person. I'm like an actual, like I learned from my coach Lawrence, who is Drill Sergeant Mike Lawrence in his former life before he went to coaching us at school. He was a Marine first, just like my dad. So my coaching is the school of hard knocks. For the Dragon Ball fans, it's that Mr. Piccolo's training. It's like dodge. That's how you learn. Dodge. So I'm just like, I'm very like blunt, direct, very wanting people to focus. And I find that it's much easier and we can produce better results when someone's at least to that monetization threshold. But I don't begrudge anybody whose coaching style is different than mine. And I won't say that mine is better. Mine's just mine and theirs is theirs. And their business model and their who they decide to work with might just be different. And so I don't believe that all the info needed is free, because the info that's out there for free, because I disagree with someone in the chat about this. The info out there for free is to cater to broad audiences and algorithms, not an individual. Content made for a broad audience is not content made from an individual. So just like we said, there's broad audience content. There's not things that are specific, because maybe you need a specific answer about a problem that's literally unique to your content, your lifestyle, your strategy, or your contracts. There's no free information that is the answer for your exact circumstances in life exclusively. So, Lieutenant Hughes, I don't agree with you on that. And the thing is, no, there aren't too many frauds. There's an abundance of them, but they're not the majority, because if they were, then that would literally be the only reputation the business has. And there wouldn't be any success stories. And there wouldn't be any, it's like, and if you're afraid, like, here's the thing. I don't know why people are so afraid of this. If you literally put it on a credit card, there's such thing as a chargeback. There's literally a such thing as a chargeback. You can literally go and buy something off the shelf and it not be what was advertised on the commercial or the whatever, and you charge it back. It's like, again, I think that the like huckster coaches thing is a real problem that exists, but I think it's an exaggerated problem because, again, most of the people I know are legitimate. And the thing is, I think that the customer has some responsibility to be able to sniff out a fraud. And then I also think people have too many broad definitions of what a fraud is because they can't prove anything fraudulent because it's a specific legal term, So like, I think that the reality is that if the information was all out there for free, which a lot of it is, it still doesn't matter. Do you know why? Because it's not going to be specific enough. If that were true, then why is like school not always producing? Why is it actual college where the information is not free and where it's a small classroom of 30 people or whatever. Why is that not always producing exact outcomes of people being successful? Right. Why is it they say that even in private school, the benefit is individual, more specific time and learning? Like, and we can disagree and we can call these things as differences of opinion, but I actually have some data points that actually back up more of what I'm saying, I believe. Because the thing is, like, if I was going to call something a scam, I'd probably say that the education system is probably closer to qualifying that, because they actually do more false marketing than anybody. They use the job placement, because I watch people, I've been talking to people who have student loans they can't pay back because they were scammed, because predatory lending, the interest rates, they are astronomical. They don't show them an amortization calculator of how much they'll really owe. There's a lot of schools that they market and they don't tell you the job placement of the degree field that you're going into as the rates for employment. They use literally anyone who's a barista or bartender in the, oh, we employed X amount of people. They use that in their calculations, not people specific to the degree. If they were to only use the marketing of here's how many people ended up working in their field of study, then the numbers would be so low that they wouldn't be a good marketing tool. You want to talk about false advertising and false marketing, look at every name brand school. You want to talk about scams, look at the predatory lending of the banking institutions and the endless lifelong situation of those student loans. Like, I mean, that's like a really bad situation. And that's still a group environment. Right? One-on-one learning with somebody is a completely different thing. So, I mean, and the thing is, I don't know that you can get a refund on college, but you can literally charge back any online service if it doesn't work out and take it up with your bank or with your credit card company. So the risk is much more minimal. So like, that's my thought on it, is that, but I also think if you got value from somebody for free, then they're probably someone you could learn from if you like their personality enough. And there's probably minimal ways to lower risk ways to do that. Not everyone learns the same. I learn from books, but not everyone can do that. Some people have reading comprehension problems or dysgraphia or dyslexia. Some people can't learn from long form content because they have ADHD or other issues that keep them from doing that. Some people need one-on-one attention, and some people need hand holding and step by step. Some people need someone that they understand, that understands their issues. Do you know that some people specifically work with me because they want somebody who can speak to their experience as a Black content creator? And there are some people who work with the female coaches because there's someone who's going to understand their unique issues. And that may not be something that you can get just by passively consuming content, because it may not answer a very specific need that you have, or it may not answer something that you're not willing to share publicly that's actually really important to a barrier you're having in your career. And so that's why I think that any tools that are suited to an individual, I think are going to be better. I'm hoping one day there'll be AI-based education that can truly scale individual learning by adapting to a person's individual need. I think that augmented reality eventually gets us to a better place with individual needs and stuff like that too, as well as things like VR. I think that technology can scale learning in certain ways, but I still think for most people that individual spending time with them one-on-one, for most people, probably helps them more than anything else, because it's also how a lot of us learned. If you even look at, like, just again, the parent-child relationship, most of us get our start in the world by someone being patient with us and listening to our questions and teaching us what we need to know and taking as much time as we need. That's like how most people literally in the entire world have most learned what they needed to know. And that's just because that's how we're built as humans.
Ooh. Fire. Dang.
Yeah. No, Viper is like the best in the world because, like,
I have practice, y'all. I have practice.
Viper is one of the best interviewers in the world because of how much he can listen and just straight up listen. And like, he's very good. Like, Viper's a much better podcast interviewer than me.
So he says.
Well, you are. You literally are. I mean, I didn't get the interviews you got.
Because you didn't try. If you try, you probably get not the same ones I got.
Fair enough. Maybe I should actually try at things. Yeah. But no, it's a good talk. And I do appreciate, Lieutenant Hughes, I do appreciate the question because, like, it actually did get me to open up to a different perspective I have on that. Because, again, I actually have a video about a different type of problem that I do see with scams. I mean, our friend John Prosser got hit with hacking, and then it was for the purpose of them doing Bitcoin to scam the audience. You know, me and Viper have seen stuff with scams and fraud all the time, and we hate it and we call it out. There's like a big email scam for creators right now that's pretending to offer brand deals. And so I'm making a video about that. There's also comment scams right now that have to do with crypto. And I've been actually talking with Team YouTube about fixing some of that on their end. I think CoffeeZilla even made a video about it. So there's like, so yeah, I have a massive issue with scams. I think there are more scams that are email and phishing scams than there are anything else right now. And I think there are more crypto scams than anything else right now. I think that the core seller thing is a smaller niche problem. And I think the big scale problem is like the phishing, the SMS hacks, and the they're these scalable things that by the numbers are going to do a massive amount of damage. So just, oh yeah, guys, like if a brand deal email seems too good to be true and it asks you to connect your YouTube channel, don't do it.
Ooh, no. Don't click no link. Don't put no information in there. No, don't.
And verify the email sender, like verify that address. Like, yeah, like just
anything. And then a password, run away.
Any of it. If it asks you to connect your account directly, don't do it. That's how people are losing their channels. Like that's for real. It's very hard. And YouTube has a very small security team. So it takes a long time and it's very difficult.
Yeah, getting in touch with an actual human being at YouTube. Good luck with that. Not a good look. Good luck.
Yeah. But on that note, we're going to close this out. Viper, you got any last words of wisdom for the audience?
Yeah. So just understand that everything that we talked about tonight doesn't happen overnight. This stuff takes time. It takes willpower. It takes motivation. It takes want to. It's about how you execute. It really comes down to how bad do you want it. If you want it bad enough, you won't let anything stop you. But if you're like somebody who was in here early and quit after one video, like that's not going to get it done. You got to have the toughness to be able to survive in a content creator game because it's not always going to be easy. You're going to have some time where you get knocked on your behind. Can you get back up and keep going? Can you get back up? So just realize if you are in it for the long haul, just prepare yourself. It's not easy, but the rewards are so great. And it's life-changing. And I wouldn't have it any other way for the world, man. That's all I got.
I love it, man. Like, that is beautiful. And it's the truth. And so one of the things that I think is really important here is that, you right now, you may be imagining a specific path of being a full-time content creator. Leave yourself open to the possibility that other paths are available and you just aren't seeing them. And also, you may not even think that being a full-time content creator is in the cards for you. I did not start YouTube thinking I would end up being a full-time YouTuber. I did not start YouTube thinking that any of the things that I'm doing right now is what I would be doing. That was not the vision that I had for my life, but I was open to it when the opportunity presented itself. And I learned, maybe I didn't know, but I learned what I could do with it. And the thing is, it didn't happen overnight. I've been at this for a minute. So 1,500 videos. So that's the thing about it, y'all. just, like let patience have its perfect work. And so I think that's a good place to bookend it. But that's it for y'all. We'll catch you next time. By the way, if any of the 200 plus of y'all that are watching right now, if any of the 200 plus of y'all right now are fans of tech, and only if you're fans of tech, you can go subscribe to my boy Viper at his YouTube channel. I'll have to link that up. You can drop the link, Viper. And I'll link that up later. But it's like, if you're a fan of tech, otherwise do not mess up this man's algorithm. Like, do not. Only if you're a fan of tech. And so that's really important. Otherwise, I welcome all of you back. Hopefully next Sunday, I won't have any moving houses issues. But next Sunday, we're going to try and do another stream for y'all. We're going to be here. I don't have the time yet, but I'll try and let y'all know. I'll try and let you know. So that is that. Also, we have our wonderful sponsors. Links are in the description down below. A lot of it's $0. Actually, I think everything is $0 technically. You can get the $0 version of TubeBuddy, get the $0 version of StreamYard, and signing up for Spreadshop, if the link is working, costs you $0 as well. So basically everything costs you $0 except for one thing. If you do want to learn more about brand deals specifically, and you are at least monetized and have 5,000 followers in any of your platforms, then I invite you to check out this month's Awesome Creator Academy live workshop. It's only 25 seats that we have, and that's only for people who like small classroom coaching. And so that is something that I'm going to be doing once a month. It is paid. All the info is on the website in the description. So feel free to check that out.
Man, YouTube messed me up, man. When I switched the channel over to brand channel, I lost my moderator privileges, then I lost my
I can mod you up.
All other privileges that I had when I as a channel member of other channel.
It's weird that stuff doesn't translate over. I'm gonna mod you up, Viper. I got you.
Sure. All right. What's going on, man?
I'm gonna get you back all your privileges.
You are too kind.
There you go. Yeah, I think technically when you do a brand channel, stuff like that, because it can mess up your URL, it changes that on the back end or something.
Okay, all right, y'all, give me a second here. Let me repost the link in here.
Yeah, and thank you, Chantel Hills and the other moderators for posting Viper's link, but Viper, you can do it yourself as well.
Yeah, there you go. Appreciate y'all.
There we go.
Again, like the man said, only if you're interested in the tech, man. You don't have to come over there if you don't like tech.
No, I'm not gonna unfriend Viper. I know that someone's joking. I did like, nah. There you go. There you go. So yeah, as long as we have no issues with my move next week, we will be here. We'll let you know ahead of time. We might try to do it earlier so that we don't keep you all up too late. But yeah, great stream, Viper. Thanks so much for hanging with me, man.
And thank you for having me, dude.
All right, y'all. We will catch you on the next one. Stay awesome. Bye.